Where the pros play. KCDC San Antonio.
It's the 55th Annual Football Championship, and you can follow all the action at betonline.net. Tampa Bay meets Kansas City on Sunday, and you can bring the game home at betonline.net.
Dietz Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's Big Game coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
Is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com. Go there if you can. Get there if you must. Listen for the next 3 hours. This is going to be one of the busier days we've had on our Dietz Tractor Big Game coverage week.
More than yesterday?
I'm looking at the cavalcade of guests coming our direction. The car wash will be in full effect today with your AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds coverage. We're going to first welcome on a regular. RJ Ochoa will jump in, and we'll look at the Dallas Cowboys and the Dak situation. Of course, we'll talk all about the miraculous yet oddly necessary comeback against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Thank you, DeMar. We appreciate you. And Jakob Pertl, welcome to the party, man. Some welcome buckets. We'll talk a lot about the Spurs. We will then be joined by Billy White Shoes Johnson, or should I just say Bill Johnson? William Johnson.
Say Bill Johnson. What does that mean? I mean, no. I mean, you got to say Shoes. I mean, he's Bill Johnson when he's somewhere that he doesn't want people to recognize him. But when he's trying to cut in line for reservations, it's Billy White Shoes.
Well, for guys of an age, Billy White Shoes means a lot. I think, the White Shoes moniker kind of hung on quite well over the years. He certainly is the same guy he always was. We talk to him every year. He's part of the Gridiron Greats group that raises money for the NFL types that left the game prior to 92 that literally don't have a whole lot of health care. And Billy White Shoes Johnson has been very much involved in that. We can't wait to have him on. John McClain will be here. The Texans drama continues. Who'd we hear from the Denver Broncos? Was that Kareem Jackson. Kareem said, I talked to him. Yeah, he's down. He might like Denver. I don't know if they want him, but So we'll talk with John McClain to see what the hell is going on. Then we're excited about one of our annuals. This is one of those things that Jason and I, we mark time by it. There are days of the year that you go, well, this is going to happen today. And on Thursdays on Radio Row at the Super Bowl, we always talk with Leigh Steinberg. We can't get there, but we will have him. Leigh Steinberg, the super agent, a young quarterback from the Kansas City Chiefs. Jason, he hired him a couple years back. That worked out pretty well.
It's worked out. I mean, you think about negotiating a $500 million contract, and the superstars that Leigh Steinberg has worked with through the years, and again, for as long as that I've known Leigh and seeing him. Have it all, lose it all, have it all, lose it all, and then get it all again and then negotiate that deal. Couldn't be happier for Leigh. And again, I remember last year on Radio Row, the term that he used, because I remember saying if the Kansas City Chiefs wins this game, this Super Bowl, what does that do for Patrick Mahomes? And he said, well, first thing we do is we put him in the marketing machine. And I think if you've watched any television lately, you've seen what the marketing machine looks like. And if he wins too, whew.
Yeah, and it's funny when you talk with Leigh Steinberg because, one, he's very unassuming. It is just matter-of-fact statements when he speaks to you. There's no pretense of anything. But he just throws in just names that you go, he's just talking about stuff and he tells you a story. When we were walking, and Steve Young. And that's right. You had Steve Young, and I remember back when me and Warren Moon we were. Oh, that's right. You had Warren Moon, and then I remember when Troy. Oh, that's right. You had Troy. Oh, gee whiz, Leigh. Okay, words to listen to.
It's incredible, and and we've got to walk a fine line because he is an active agent, but we will ask him in a roundabout way about. Deshaun Watson in that situation, although, from an agent's perspective, how do you handle that? But also, he's got Tua and he represents Tua, who is very much in the trade rumors. And Tua had some comments today as he's made some rounds about being, in those trade rumors. And of course, his answer was textbook, man. I'm quarterback of the Miami Dolphins until I'm not. Yeah, kind of thing. You got to block it out and, whatever. But, it's a very interesting time in the way Deshaun Watson is going about trying to get out of Houston.
And he might be playing a role in it, and he will join us at 5:30. We're not done yet, though. There's still more to come. We'll be giving away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. It is our regular Grilling with the Blitz. We will then be joined by LaPhonso Ellis. The world does not live by the pigskin alone. There are other sports going on, my friends, and college basketball is in play, though. This Saturday's big game, the annual affair with the North Carolina and Dukies going at it. First of all, no fans and no ranking. It's the first time either one of these teams has been not rated or unrated in the AP Top 25 since 1960. Since then, at least one has been ranked every time they've played. So
for the first time in our lifetimes, these two teams will play where neither team has been ranked. And when they put the schedule together, and they're thinking, all right, day before the Super Bowl, man, this is going to be they
put it on at 5:00, right, the witching hour to be in the books around the country, right about the time everybody's easing into Super Bowl Saturday night and everything getting ready. And it turns out neither one of them are even ranked. Now, lots of talent there. And of course, they're going to say, throw out the record books, but we will look at college.
These two teams play, and you always say you throw out the records. And in this case, I think both Duke and North Carolina would like to throw out the records.
This year has been ugly, but they will be playing. We'll talk about the entire landscape of college basketball with LaPhonso Ellis. Yeah, Texas being a hotbed as it is. And then there's still more. First of all, we've got the head football coach of your Trinity University, Jerheme Urban's going to join us at 6:30 for two reasons. One, he has some Super Bowl experiences in that very city. Two, he has also got a football season to coach coming around the bend. They got 4 football games to play here in the spring. Yes, real football. And Jerheme Urban is coaching. We'll talk Super Bowls and prep for that. And also Trinity as they get ready for an unprecedented spring football season. So my goodness, lots to get into. So let's get started. RJ Ochoa joins us next. We'll dig into the Spurs win as they get ready for some more of those tiebreaker types. Then Billy White Shoes Johnson. Hang on. You are on the Blitz. 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
With the big game on Sunday, you got to go big on your grill. And if you're going to do that, you want to do it right, and that is at Tri-County Meat Market. Get in there because they're full service, locally owned. They've got carefully selected certified prime Angus beef cuts, the Wagyu, upper choice, everything you need to up that grilling game. Beef, chicken, pork, fajitas, all those great poppers, the pig 5 for $25 this weekend. But honestly, Rob, I look at these specials, and you know exactly what you need to do this weekend at Tri-County Meat Market.
Big games deserve big meat and big specials. And by the way, if you haven't had their Americanated chicken, it is the finest marinated chicken you could possibly have at Tri-County, and you can get it there. Their Americanated chicken wings are a mere $4.99 a pound, and you're not going to find that many other places. But let's dig into what we're all chasing. 3-bone ribs, 3-bone plate ribs are $8.99 a pound, those massive brontosaurus types. 4-bone chuck ribs, $7.99 a pound. Sirloin fajitas, $11.99 a pound, the very best meat. Oh my goodness. The choice brisket, $3.99 a pound, coming from Tri-County Meat. And again, those Americanated marinated chicken wings at $4.99 a pound. If you're a first responder, you walk into Tri-County, you know you're getting 10% off. We're talking about all the military and police, firemen, and EMTs out there. Head over to Tri-County. They'll take care of you. 2 great locations. Over on Hebner Road, out on Ralph Fair Road, both open and waiting on you for the big game this weekend. But beware, they're going to be shutting down kind of early on Super Bowl Sunday at 3, so they can go watch the game too, my friends. Get there early. Get it before it all runs out. They're stacking them deep and getting ready. Head over to Tri-County Meat Markets or check their website, tricountymeat.com.
Every Thursday night at 7 after the Blitz, ESPN San Antonio brings you Down for the Count, the premier wrestling and sports entertainment talk show, featuring news and interviews from WWE, NXT, and AEW. Down for the Count, only on ESPN San Antonio.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie. The type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Where will you be on the biggest NFL Sunday? Get to Twin Peaks for the best seats, made from scratch food, and 29-degree beer. It's a football fan's paradise. No one wants to sit in the nosebleeds, especially on the biggest Sunday of the season. Who you got? The Bucs or the Chiefs? Make the call and join us for the game.
Today on Hey Culligan, the best things in life are free. Water tests. Let's go to Candace.
Hey Culligan, how do I learn more about my water?
Candace, let me just test the waters here.
Okay.
Literally test your water.
Oh.
For free.
Free?
Free, Candace. In-home water tests for free. So you know more about your water and how to make it better with Culligan water. And Candace.
Yeah?
We're already on the way.
Oh, good.
Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
The biggest football game of the year is this Sunday.
Where will you be watching?
Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar, now with 4 San Antonio area locations, has everything you need to enjoy this year's big game safely. Drink specials, giveaways, goodies,
Giveaways.
sound on, and more giveaways.
At all 4 Slackers locations.
Slackers Super Sunday is going on this weekend at all 4 locations. Visit slackersbarssa.com.
Slackersbarssa.com.
Or find Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar on Facebook for more info.
Achieve your fitness goals this year with Body Armor Light. Body Armor Light is the low-calorie sports drink hydrating your active lifestyle. It has no artificial sweeteners, no sugar added, and only 20 calories per 16-ounce bottle. Whatever your goals might be, Body Armor Light is keeping you hydrated during your workouts and your busy day. From now until April 30th, buy $20 of any Body Armor product and earn $10 in fitness cash to select fitness retailers nationwide. Learn more at BACommit2Fit.com. That's BACommit2Fit.com.
Carmen's startup found an angel investor, but now they're asking for a miracle from her development team.
Hello, this is Carmen. That's exciting news. I guess we could launch early.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Dietz Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's big game coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
Oh, my goodness. $11.99 a pound. Your choice of brisket. $3.99 a pound. Where'd they get this? It's good deals. And don't forget that they have all the American-named chicken wings, which will be on my grill for sure. Proof, my friend. If you don't know how to Americanate a wing, you're really not. First of all, you got to be a Traeger man. And once you become a Traeger man, you get the secret cookbook. And I learned how. I stole one, and I got the Americanated wings recipe. I'll be doing that this weekend.
The funny part about that is yesterday after we did the commercial for Tri-County, me and Pledge were laughing, and Rob was like, "I did not say that. I said marinated, right? I said it right. And Pledge said, I'll pull the tape."
Welcome back to the Blitz. Blitz is brought to you by the Thompson Law Firm. Jason Thompson, a lawyerforus.com is his website. His phone number is 210-900-0400. Call Jason as soon as you've been in an auto collision. If you've been hurt, let him take care of the insurance companies. Remember that call, that consultation is always absolutely free. And when you call Jason Thompson is your attorney. RJ Ochoa is joining us, man. All week long, I have just kind of bellyached behind the scenes of how miserable I have been that we're not out at the game. It's just been kind of awful. And, certainly every year this week, we spend a lot of time with you, RJ Ochoa of Blogging the Boys and Rock the Mic fame. Welcome on.
What's going on, guys? Yeah, typically my biological clock is freaking out because we haven't shared a bunch of Ubers. We haven't split some appetizers. Rob hasn't done something like break a glass at a, establishment. Just Jason hasn't hoarded all of the plastic cups in the building. So I'm just freaking out, like having not seen the things that I'm normally used to this time of year.
It's funny because on my Facebook memories, apparently yesterday was in Atlanta, our first night bar bill in that really long receipt that we had, and Rob's broken glass after trying some sort of weird cider beer. And of course, RJ was dancing. I mean, it got to the point where RJ was dancing. So you got to understand how great that bar was.
It really was. I remember like the third night that we were there, and we went there again. For whatever reason, wherever we'd been, I hadn't eaten. I don't know if you guys remember this, and I was famished. I was starving. And we showed up to Montana's, and great wing place. I'll never forget. They had some fantastic garlic parmesan and lemon pepper wings, and I sat down and we heard all the stories about the guy that was brought back to life and everything. And
twice,
I shot
that
down.
guy had died twice. He said.
Such is life on the Super Bowl road. That was just one city. That was just Atlanta. We didn't even get into what happened in Minneapolis and the bars we found there in the the frozen tundra of the north. RJ Ochoa is sitting in with us. We're full of all of memories and all the things. Tonight would normally be the Ditka and Jaws cigar party, and that's where we normally would get to run into the muckety mucks. That's the big time party that we used to walk into and smoke a cigar and have a beer with Zach Brown, hang with numerous professional football players.
Run from Ray Lewis.
Steal his cigars and run and hide and take his.
In Minneapolis, at the Ditka and Jaws cigar party, that was when I got to tell Kurt Warner about having played Words with Friends with him for about 2 years. Jason was kind enough to snap that photo. And you will recall, on the subject of the cigars, one of the vendors I recognized from having appeared on The Amazing Race.
That's right.
and because I did, he freaked out and just grabbed a handful of cigars and handed them to me. And I was gracious enough to hand them off to you guys and to Scott because you cared more about them than I did.
This was a guy that was on apparently a TV show called The Amazing Race, and he's working this.
Show.
Oh, sure. I mean, but
catapulted him into giving away cigars at parties.
Yeah. I mean, this guy, is just working, and RJ recognized him. And this guy, in a room full of major celebrities, clearly nobody there, nobody working with him believed that he was on a TV show. Nobody outside of his family knew that he was on this TV show, but RJ Ochoa, and he became your best friend. He was handing us
fistfuls of cigars. He was handing us bricks of cigars because somebody recognized him. Here, take the good ones. Here's the good ones.
Well, and that's what he was like. These ones are about 25 a piece, man. Here you go. Here's thousands of them. It was great. Then we had to try to carry all of them.
That is, in fact, who you know. So that was in Atlanta. Of the media parties that we've been to, now not the Ditka and Jaws, but the media parties, which was the venue that you enjoyed the most? Houston was at the museum. Minneapolis was in the mall, in the amusement park inside the Mall of Americas. Atlanta was in their aquarium,
which was
and
awesome.
Miami was on the dock side of the Princess cruise ships. So it was all set up right on the water. Which of the four did y'all enjoy?
I think the most.
Go ahead, RJ.
You go ahead, Jason. I want to hear what you liked first.
Well, I mean, of those four, I mean, just the overall setting and scenery, it was hard to beat Miami. But honestly, and it was before you guys were a part of the show, the media party down in New Orleans was so epic because they had it on one of the piers in New Orleans where they store all the stuff for all the floats. So you had all of that kind of scenery. And then, of course, the food was incredible and everything about it. And the one in San Francisco was in a kind of similar pier.
Well, stick to the ones we know, Jason.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, you're
going big time on us, and we're big time, and we're already RPP in this. But you RPP'd our RPP.
Miami. Miami. Although,
was it Miami?
Hanging with Brad Paisley in Minnesota was kind of cool, and watching you freak out and hump the leg of some cooking show guy. What was his name? Andrew Zimmer. That was worth the price of admission.
Now.
Yeah. Well, okay. So first first of all, the actual physical space, Atlanta's aquarium was awesome. Like, that was the widest venue that there was. So I enjoyed that. I think the best was Houston, because at the museum, and Rob, I know you remember this, each room had a dietary theme. And so like that, and it kind of fit with the theme of the museum, which was really cool. I was going to say, yeah, Jason basically assaulted Brad Paisley, or invited an assault on Brad Paisley, I would say. But yeah, I've told this story several times, both here and to lots of other people. Rob and I were walking around it wasn't just the mall, it was the amusement park where they had the media party in Minnesota. And Rob and I are talking, and I'm telling some story, and I just look, and he's gone. I mean, like, Rob is completely absent from my vision and space. And I turn around, and I thought you were going to propose, Rob. I mean, you were like in this dude's grill, and I've never seen you lit up like that. It was great.
You know, you guys talk about Houston. I think I might have really enjoyed that party a lot, because I don't have the same memories that you guys do. Because I remember there was a lot of good free stuff at that one.
At the Houston one?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, remember, Minnesota had the Swells. That was what they gave us, the Swell water bottles, and Atlanta gave us the AirPods, the knockoff AirPods. Miami gave us some like Miami gave us these like Yeti looking cups. But Houston had a bag that had all this.
That's
cool
right.
Stuff.
Yeah. See, RJ, as you could tell, RJ is judging the quality of the party based on the swag. You know, what's the free stuff that you get? Yes.
I mean, it's really all about the swag, and I am going to miss some of the we've all built up, I believe, a pretty good selection of the little radios that are used during the NFL opening night. For the introduction of the teams. I know they had to have had them made. I got to go find one of those. You can't have a gap in the collection.
I mean, let's be honest, since we're all going totally behind the scenes here. Rob mentioned the other day, I don't mean to sell you out, Rob. Rob mentioned the other day that he used the last of his free Old Spice deodorant that we get on Radio Row. And I saw earlier one of the guys promoting Old Spice, and they generally have this big setup. Rob, for the first time in years, because of not being able to go to the trip, is actually going to have to buy his own deodorant.
I left I left Miami with 7. I use that's my yearly uses, I guess. Now I can monitor that. 7 Old Spice.
So my favorite thing along those lines. Do you remember when we got? It's actually the box that I keep those cigars in. The M&M candy bars when they came out. I loved those. But I do miss, on the subject of because a lot of people are pushing different things, as all the loyal Blitz listeners have heard this week. And it's generally Mark Schlereth, I feel like, that if he's not doing low T, he's doing his protein shake peanut butter thing. And Rob is always the one who takes that and falls on that grenade.
No, Schlereth has the chilies. Bill Romanowski has the
Romo.
shakes.
That's who it was. I'm sorry.
The lean one shakes. That's what he always has.
Rob's the one who
course,
drinks it.
the best though is Emmett Smith, who is going to be on with us tomorrow, and he always brings a nice bottle of tequila with him, which Pat Green stole one year. He stole stole
my year last year, because he stole it my year. You got it. So this was my year in the pandemic. I don't know what the hell's going to happen 2 years from now. I don't know what's going to happen in 23.
But you'll get a delivery tomorrow. Don't worry.
Well, let's hope so.
On the subject of free things, lest we not forget, I believe it was Atlanta when Rob wanted to give away something. And so we went to wherever it was, the grocery store the first night there, and Rob bought hot tamales and all sorts of little candies. And Charles Haley thought they were the most delicious thing in the world.
Nothing like chewy kind of candies on a
that was a bad idea.
You know what? Everybody puts their hands in. You can't do that in a COVID pandemic. But back then, apparently, we didn't give a damn. But giving chewy candies while you're trying to talk on the radio, like we do this for a living. We know there's certain things you can't eat. Charles Haley is just trying to eat between bites and then try to answer questions, and the candy.
I defy anyone to do what we did. We interviewed a highly inebriated Pac-Man Jones. Highly inebriated.
With candy.
With a mouthful of Red Hots. We did that live.
In Pac-Man. And he was. I mean, that guy was not in the same space as the rest of us. And he was eating the candy. And then they emptied the candy dish completely during the interview. And I think was more worried about the candy than whatever we were talking about. And quite honestly, I have no idea why he was on Radio Row, because he didn't know what he was there to talk about.
Early.
But then he wanted, like he's like, "You going to refill this?" Yeah, sure. And he wanted to just take all of the candy. All of it.
Yep.
He had the munchies,
Pac-Man.
my friends. Yeah.
Pac-Man Jones. Good interview. One of the better ones we've ever done. We were going to talk Dallas Cowboys. Any thoughts on the progress with Dak Prescott's contract there, RJ Ochoa?
I mean, it's just as frustrating. It's just as silly. It's actually kind of annoying that they allowed this week to get here, where people like Carson Palmer are handed microphones and allowed to spout off on it, and just make the situation all the more toxic. But I'm going to
hold you right there, because for somebody that didn't hear what Carson Palmer said, he was talking with our friends up at 105.3 The Fan. He said, well, Dak should just take less money because he's going to make it up in endorsements and post-career. And if you take less money, you can save that for your teammates. And that is what a lot of people say that don't understand the business, and the fact that you get as much as you can from Jerry, and that endorsement money is still going to be there because you've got a short amount of time to make money. On your first contract, you never take less. You might take less on your second or your third, but never on your first major contract. And the endorsement money is going to be there. So you don't make up for what you're giving Jerry back. That is not the way the NFL is set up to do. And I am stunned that a guy like Carson Palmer would say that. That is one of the most ridiculous things I've heard from a former NFL player who was a top draft pick and never gave any money back, never took the home, and certainly not on his first one.
Absolutely.
I do think it's true. I mean, like what he said, it is true that being the Cowboys quarterback carries. Yeah, I mean, it does carry more value than other teams. So I like to say that that's not true. I don't think it's fair. But because it's true, it doesn't mean the Cowboys have a larger salary cap. And so that's ultimately where the conversation kind of starts and ends for me. You're right. The irony of Carson saying it is hilarious, given that he retired from the Bengals. Also, last year on Radio Row, the guy who you mentioned, you'll be talking to him tomorrow. We'll be talking to him over at SB Nation tomorrow as well. Emmitt Smith said this a year ago. And he said, hey, maybe – and Emmitt, I think Engel did a little bit better. He said, take a little bit less, because at the time, Amari Cooper's deal was coming up too. And he said, whatever. But and again, the irony there, this is a dude who held out into the season just to get more money. And so I also like, it is kind of an unwritten rule for players. Like, you don't count other guys' money. And so I find it interesting that all these people would have a lot of takes on how Dak Prescott should
keep your hand out of my wallet, man. Don't talk about my wallet ever. You can talk about a lot of stuff. Don't talk about my wallet. You go there, you can't come back.
Yeah, but they're answering questions, which is why they're talking about it. Right. I just can't believe these guys would actually say take less. Go get yours. Whatever it is, go get yours. If it's years, different things like that, get more guaranteed money. They know how to structure it. But I've never heard another player say take less. And again, second contract, third contract, you can afford to do that. First contract, go get every nickel you could possibly get.
Do you feel like anybody took less so Dak could get paid?
Amari Cooper did.
Jalen Smith
didn't.
Jalen did. Jalen's the only dude that fell for that. But you could also argue though that was kind of Jalen like taking his, because his NFL career had been under such level of question that maybe taking anything was cashing out as soon as possible. But I mean, Jalen is and again, like everybody wants to be like, well, look at Tom Brady takes less. Yeah, that's cool. Again, every situation is different. Nobody's like Tom Brady.
All right,
it's stupid.
Let's make a deal. After you've put in 16 years of service, you can take less. After you've done it 16 years, and let's say won 4 Super Bowls, you're allowed to play for the league minimum, and no one can question that to make your team
And if
better.
you marry a supermodel wife who makes more than you regardless. And again, if you're at Ben Roethlisberger's stage where it says, well, I know they're not going to pay me, I'm not ready to be done. Money doesn't matter this year. Well, you got a lot in the bank. Again, it's
he
bizarre.
can talk about his wallet, but nobody is allowed to talk about anybody else taking less money for the betterment of the team. You don't do that. Don't lay that on my lap, because this team lasts till the whistle is blown and the season is done. That's a whole other story about how much we sacrifice and how much comes back to the team. Don't talk about my wallet. RJ Ochoa, man, it was great catching up with you. Blogging the boys. What you got?
I wanted to add one last thing, Rob. I find it ironic that you would be talking about a wallet this week of all weeks. Maybe it is sort of like subliminally, imprinted on your brain.
I know.
Because I know I wasn't staying there, but a year ago during the Super Bowl trip, you washed your wallet. So maybe that's why that word is on your mind.
Yeah, I washed my entire wallet, ruined every card. Why was I doing laundry at 2 a.m. in the morning? What the hell was that?
Well, I think we all know why. I think we all know why. I think we all know why.
In the middle of the hotel or something?
What? No, it was just
Yeah, we had a condo, had a washing machine.
Yeah, we had one of those fancy downtown Miami
No,
combos.
I mean that night, since he was doing it at 2. Weren't y'all at the condo or at the bar in the
No, that was
middle
the
of
bar that closed at 3 where we saw the motorcycle accident. And so we probably didn't get back to the room till close to 4. And then about 7:30, Rob is all freaked out because he can't find his wallet. We're ready to go, and he can't find his wallet. And can't find his wallet. I'm like, dude, Uber's here, man. Where's your wallet? The light bulb goes off. I think I did laundry when I got home last night.
Yeah.
And all
See, like I would understand if this.
They never made the dryer,
Thursday.
by the way. I mean, his clothes never found the dryer that night, but they did find the washing machine with everything still in his pockets.
Very proud. One of the many proud moments that did not get
It
to
was that
celebrate.
shot at last call that did it.
He's trying to
and
Americanate
praise
his wallet.
Americanated my wallet, and praise to DeMar DeRozan. But for him, the Spurs would have lost 3 consecutive games. They did win. They took down the Minnesota Timberwolves. Let's see what we saw and talk about it. The Spurs win, but coming back, you're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
You think about the big game is coming up on Sunday. You need to make sure you're the MVP on the grill. You want the best sausage you can for that grill. You get Kielbasa smoked sausage. It's authentic sausage, the kind you could find in butcher shops back in the old days, and it's so good because the way Kielbasa makes their legendary smoked sausage. It's done in small 150-pound batches with only fresh, high-quality ingredients, never frozen meat. They don't add fillers or chemicals that you can't pronounce. Then it is smoked over real hardwood, just the way Rufus Kielbasa did back in 1949 when he started the company right here in San Antonio. And everything they make is still made here in town over there off of South Brazos Street. Kielbasa is a great local San Antonio company on a mission to reintroduce you to authentic smoked meats. So when you buy Kielbasa brand sausage, you know you're getting the best, most authentic smoked sausage you will ever eat. Michael Kielbasa guarantees it. If it's not the best, call him. He'll give you your money back. He puts his phone number on the back of every package sold. Kielbasa sausage is now available at Walmart. And, of course, at H-E-B, you can find Kielbasa sausage, Kielbasa bacon, Kielbasa chorizo, and those great Kielbasa breakfast things. It's the big game coming up on Sunday. You're going to fire up the grill. Make sure you get some Kielbasa today.
Want to treat your significant other to a weekend away or to a nice date? Well, ESPN San Antonio is giving away $500 to 2 couples. Get all the details and enter today at ESPNSA.com. Brought to you by New Brakes Mobile Brake Repair.
At Thomas J. Henry, our sole focus is to help injured clients rebuild their lives. If you've been hurt, don't wait. Start your claim today at tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
Does it feel like finding clothes in your fit is impossible? Tired of feeling overwhelmed with options that just aren't right? Let the experts at Stitch Fix do the shopping for you. At Stitch Fix, we make sure each piece is hand-selected for your life. So whether you're staying home or on the go, Stitch Fix has the answer for what to wear. We make it easy to find what works for you. Signing up takes just a few minutes, and styles are delivered directly to your door. Get started today at StitchFix.com. Stitch Fix, your style delivered.
Take your romance game to a whole new level this Valentine's with Diamonds Direct's most popular offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase happening right now. You know jewelry is the perfect gift to celebrate your love. And with this incredible offer, you can afford to go big. Like a $6,000 diamond tennis bracelet, just $100 a month. Or a $3,000 pair of diamond earrings, just $50 a month. Diamonds Direct has teamed up with the world's top jewelry designers for an expanded selection of Valentine's surprises for any budget. Romantic gifts starting as low as $400. Rings, earrings, pendants, bands, colored gemstones. The guaranteed largest selection, highest quality, and always the best value. Whether you shop in store or online at DiamondsDirect.com. Make this the most memorable Valentine's ever with 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase, including engagement rings. Now through Valentine's Day. Celebrate your love at Diamonds Direct.
At the shops at La Cantera.
Listen to this radio station on the radio.com app. Discover and enjoy your favorite music, news, and talk radio from live stations across the country. Listen anywhere on all mobile and home devices with the radio.com app.
Wendy's new classic chicken sandwich is now in the 2 for $5, and that's reason to celebrate. Try the new classic and then take your mouth on a victory lap with the iconic Dave's Single, the delicious spicy chicken sandwich, spicy or crispy 10-piece nuggets, or just get another classic chicken sandwich. Taste greatness today with Wendy's 2 for $5. We got you.
For a limited time, a la carte only. Price and participation may vary. U.S. Wendy's.
Chrissy is refinancing her home, so she shopped around for the lowest rate and found it at Amerisave.com, setting her up for a lifetime of savings. It's one decision she'll never regret, unlike wearing tap shoes to a surprise party.
Sorry, guys. Just trying to find the perfect hiding place.
Pretty regrettable, Chrissy, unlike finding that low mortgage rate at Amerisave.com that's got you on your way to a lifetime of savings. Amerisave's rates won't be this low forever, so go to Amerisave.com now. Lower mortgage rates mean higher savings. Call 866-5146 or visit Amerisave.com/licensing for cost information, terms, and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all states except New York. NMLS number 1168.
Dietz Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's Big Game coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
Welcome back to the Blitz. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. John McClain will be here at 5:15 in just a couple of minutes. About 8 minutes or so. Billy White Shoes Johnson will join us. Leigh Steinberg will be here at 5:30. That's just part of the cavalcade of stars we're bringing you here on the Dietz Tractor Big Game coverage. Spurs win last night, 111-108. Comeback. It was a terrible game.
It was awful.
Capped by a phenomenal performance. That's what it did, right? It made every Spurs fan mad. It was aggravating. That's that's the best way to put what we saw. But let's do the. It's two goods and a bad. Is that how you're supposed to discipline someone or talk about? So let's do the goods. First of all, DeMar DeRozan and the performance that he brought, even though it was a little slow in the making, the close was perfect. Secondly, welcome to the party backup posts, Trey Lyles and Jakob Poeltl. Trey Lyles in particular, he had did you see the catch dribble drive to the rim that he offered? That he do that more, Trey Lyles, and you'll play a lot more. That's one thing that we don't have. LaMarcus can't do that. Jakob Poeltl can't do that. But Trey, you can do that. And if you'll plant yourself on the wing and hit those threes and then put it on the floor and get to the rim, that's where minutes are going to come from. That's where that offense that we've been missing from Jakob, though we did get it a little bit more last night, it was missing. Those are the benefit, the positives we saw last night.
You know,
what's the worst thing you saw?
Well, the first 3 quarters. I mean, it was just bad all the way around. I mean, we talked yesterday about this being a DeMar game, go get your 55 kind of thing. And granted, in the fourth quarter, he played that way. If he would have played the fourth quarter, played the whole game like he did the fourth, he might have. I mean, he had 16 of his 30 in that fourth quarter. But I don't know if there was anything I liked about that game last night, even the comeback win. I mean, what was it? Did Minnesota just completely bleep their pants in that fourth quarter when the Spurs started cutting into that lead? I mean, you got to give the Spurs some credit for holding them to 18 points in the quarter. But I think it was more about just missed and rush shots on the part of Minnesota. I think that they couldn't handle the rush there, and the Spurs got it. I mean, going into the game yesterday after losing 2, I said on the show last night, this should be a slump buster kind of game. But with this Spurs team, I don't know if there is such a thing. In other words, the Spurs last night hit last call, introduced themselves to somebody, and was able to take her, right? I mean, that's the way that game felt. I mean, there was nothing satisfying about that other than the fact that they didn't get a loss when it was all said and done.
They continue to protect the ball, only 7 turnovers. It's just offensively, I'm starting to very much be concerned about Lonnie Walker. There's just not a lot of offense there. And if you're not, defensively, the athleticism is certainly perfect. And last night, on the other side of that, but 0 for 3 from 3-point line.
Dude
1
got
of
benched
10
in the fourth quarter. He was
1 of
benched
10,
in
man.
the fourth quarter. I mean,
this
it was bad. And again, I don't know what to make of Lonnie Walker right now. I mean, I'm not ready to sell. Spurs Twitter last night was roasting him and DeMar and LaMarcus, even though he didn't play. I mean, I don't know what to make of Lonnie Walker. He is frustrating. But when that kid is on, he is on. Obviously, he needs more, but he was bad last night. Keldon wasn't good last night either. I mean, it was just an all-around bad game that resulted in a win. And for this Spurs team, I think you almost have to celebrate that some, because this team had no business winning that game, yet they end up with a win. And that's a big win for them. You can't afford to lose 2 to Minnesota this year. I mean, that's a team with 5 wins on the season. You've lost to them once. You talk about a playoff team down the stretch. You can't have 2 losses to Minnesota and go to the postseason. It's actually in the rule book this year. So, that was a huge win last night for the Spurs, even though it was ugly and you were pissed off, even though you got the win.
They get a rematch with the hot and cold Houston Rockets coming up in a couple of days. That's good news. Probably not a whole lot of practice today, but I get the feeling tomorrow there might be some shoes lace game against the Rockets on Saturday. Hey, we'll continue talking Spurs, but when we come back, let's talk to a legend. Billy White Shoes Johnson will join us. He of the Houston Oilers and Atlanta Falcons fame, part of the all-70s and all-80s decade team, returned some 8 kicks for touchdowns and one of the more flashy and just unique individuals to ever play the football game. The Funky Chicken is his legacy. He'll be coming up next here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com. It is Thursday afternoon, and the weekend spreads before us, but we got plenty of happy hour right now, and no one does it better than Twin Peaks. Happy hour is back. Get over there up until 7 o'clock today and score sweet deals like $1 off all wine, liquor, cheap shots, and freezing cold 29-degree draft brews. And if you're feeling a little snacky, as I am right now, they also have select apps available for $2, $4, and $6. And a bit of a night owl. We'll head out there later and come back for some awesome specials during the late night hours. The big game will be playing on all Sunday. If you're heading to watch the game out, visit with the like minds. 2 great locations, the Twin Peaks on 151 and Park North Locale, both open and waiting for you. Twin Peaks, the food is scratch. The drinks are 29 degrees or below. But why do you go? It's those scenic views.
The ESPN San Antonio 10K Payday. This hour's winning word is
sauce.
Enter that word now at ESPNSA.com. Another reason it pays to listen to ESPN San Antonio all day, every day.
Great cash, homie.
You love Southern Recipe small batches, bold pork rind flavors. Whether it's their spicy dill, Korean kimchi barbecue, or pasilla chili cheese, they've got the keto-friendly protein-packed snack that crushes all others. Want to win $5,000 plus Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds for a whole year? Enter at porkrinds.com right now. Porkrinds.com. Plus, you'll have a chance to win a one-on-one conversation with a Pro Football Hall of Famer. And while you're at HEB, grab a bag of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. We have finally turned the calendar into a new year, but if you still are rolling on those old brakes, you need to get them fixed. Jason Minnick's here for New Brakes, nubrakes.com. New Brakes is a mobile brake shop. That means they will come to you to fix your brakes. New Brakes has made getting your brakes repaired easy, convenient, and affordable because they will come to you. They'll come to your home, they'll come to your office, and fix your brakes while you continue to live your life. Most repairs are done in less than an hour. New Brakes only uses premium
premium brake parts, and they back all repairs with a 24-month, 24,000-mile warranty. Go read all the 5-star reviews at nubrakes.com. If you know your brakes are bad or you think they're going bad, do us all a favor and get them fixed. Schedule your appointment now at nubrakes.com, nubrakes.com. Save 10% when you mention my name or ESPN San Antonio. Go to nubrakes.com right now, nubrakes.com.
Your child deserves to be in the very best hands. The South Texas Early Childhood Experts at the Brighton Center are some of the most capable hands of all, earning us the Nonprofit of the Year award. The team delivers the best childhood education, therapy, and support in the San Antonio area, catering to your child's specific needs. We prepare children for kindergarten and the rest of their lives, because children aren't our job, they're our passion. Brighton Center. The right help at the right time can change a life. Visit brightonsa.org to learn more.
Without more licensed workers, Gary's roofing business might hit its ceiling.
Hey, that new contract just got pushed up. We are going to need all hands on deck to make this happen.
Hey, Gary, you booked me on that other job next week.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Fact: filing your taxes with TaxAct can feel like a cash explosion. That's because TaxAct helps you get your maximum refund guaranteed. And TaxAct costs 30% less than the big guys, which means more of this. So if you want a cash explosion of your own, switch to TaxAct. File for less and get more. Start for free at TaxAct.com. 30% less claim based on comparison of TurboTax and H&R Block federal pricing for deluxe and premier consumer online products on December 4th, 2020. Restrictions apply. See TaxAct.com for complete details.
Dietz Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's Big Game coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com. Our Dietz Tractor Big Game coverage continues, brought to you by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. You know, Jason, one of the annual events of our year is coming up this Sunday. There's also a game, but it's Pork Rind Appreciation Day, and a game is being celebrated, that big one that's going on.
Yes.
And Pork Rind Appreciation Day means a lot of things to a lot of different people. What it means to me, Jason, as we get closer and closer to that big game, is I get to talk with a legend that I grew up watching, Bill Johnson. Now, see, that sounds right? But that's not what you need to hear. Billy White Shoes Johnson, welcome on to the Blitz. It is an honor to have you aboard, sir.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
You know, it's interesting, Billy, because, you know, the last several years we've seen you on Radio Row, whatever Super Bowl city we're in. You always are on the move. You got the white shoes going. You got everything there. Interesting this year, the way we're having to do things. Out of curiosity, what's it been like for you during this COVID period?
Different. Although I really enjoy being with my family. It's one of those things we take so much for granted. Now you appreciate the time you spend with them. It's
absolute.
It's terrible, but you try to make the best of a bad situation.
He is Billy White Shoes Johnson, former Houston Oiler, Atlanta Falcon. I remember him as an Oiler. I remember the dance. You can't talk Billy White Shoes Johnson, and you can't be a guy of my age and have tried and at some point scored a touchdown in their backyard and did not celebrate the way that Billy White Shoes Johnson taught us how to celebrate. And, you know, as I hear you laughing in the background, the exuberance and the enjoyment in the game is still there. The celebration is iconic, and tell us where it came from, the funky chicken, and how it came to be on the field, and how it manifests who you are.
It all came when I was in college, just doing something to be different, I guess. But also just we're playing a good, solid team, and they were going up. They got a little haughty, and I said, well, you know, if I score, I'm going to dance. You know how you're kidding, you're in the locker room the night before a game, joking around, just lying, what we were doing. But I said, hey, man, if I score, I'm going to dance. I really am. Oh, no, you're not. I said, oh, but I am. I had no more of dancing than going to find the man on the moon. So when I scored, because I did all that talking, I had to dance. So I danced after the touchdown, and I've been dancing ever since.
And again, the funky chicken, we've all done it at some point when we've scored, whether it's in a game or in street yard football or whatever. We all done it. In fact, I was thinking, yesterday on our show, with Mark Singleton, we did a recipe that we do with them every week with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. And it was the skinny dipping chicken. I think we might need to rename that to the funky chicken in honor of the great Billy White Shoes Johnson, who's joining us here. And I think about when you played, and I'm a short guy myself, at a towering 5'7", you're listed at 5'9", Billy. And I think about like a guy like Tyreek Hill in today's NFL with a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes. How much dancing would you be doing in the end zone?
Oh, wow, man. I would have me a dancing studio. I'd be dancing so much with these guys. No. It would be fun. It would be fun because, what they do in their offense, they make it fun. They make it enjoyable. That's why Tyreek has so much fun. He gets a chance to catch a ball and he doesn't do it or run a good route. He gets upset because he knows that, all those plays were designed for him. And in the process, you start saying, okay, I'm even going to make it more fun. And it's not trying to poke fun at somebody, not trying to, get them to get upset or anything like that. You're just having fun. And people like that, they get me excited. They make, so it's just one of those things that it's all part of his repertoire.
Three-time Pro Bowler Billy Johnson. He was an NFL Comeback Player of the Year, part of the 70s and 80s All-Decade team. He's right here on the Big Game coverage brought to you by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Your involvement with Mark Singleton and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds with the Gridiron Greats Assistance Fund. I didn't know anything about it up until 4 years ago because I think the assumption, Bill, is that you guys were professional athletes. The NFL is this massive conglomeration that has all kinds of money, and it's going to take care of all those guys that sacrifice their body for their team and for the fans. And for the generation that you played with, that is not the case. Tell us what the Gridiron Greats Assistant Fund means to you and what it's doing for guys of your age of that era in the NFL.
You know what it does? We didn't get paid the salary that these guys get today. And what Mike Ditka's charitable organization does, they go out and help these ball players who have somewhat dire needs, falling on some hard times, not because they squander their money away. It's just some things that go through for them. So what he does, he goes out there, he'll help them, with the medical costs, he'll help them transportation, child care. But he does those things that, helps these players to get established again and to get off and running. That's a good thing that you got somebody like Mike who's got an organization that really cares for the former players. It's a crying shame, you would think, with some of the monies that they're getting now. Even then, wouldn't have been enough, but there's more than enough that can help some of these players in a situation like that. So that's why the good people at Southern Recipe decided to join in and to raise awareness of what's going on, and hopefully we'll get more people who are in need taken care of.
And Mark Singleton from Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, a great friend of the program, and personally, you spearheaded that along with Pork Rind Appreciation Day. Talk about getting your company involved to help these NFL legends.
Yeah, we're a family-owned company, and one of our charges from our chairman and our president, Rich and Jim Rudolph, is to really be involved in our communities, to really give back to all the people that have helped us get here. And when we were lucky enough to get the governor to declare Sunday's Pork Rind Appreciation Day, we really thought, wouldn't it be cool if we could find a great charity to hook up with so that all the activity we do around this actually helps somebody other than ourselves. And we were just so blessed to team up with Coach Dick and Billy and Jack and other great football players that really have taken it upon themselves to help those who are less fortunate than them.
This year with consumer support, $15,000 is going to be donated through the annual Pork Rind Appreciation Day campaign to the Gridiron Greats Assistance Fund. And it's such a benefit to have this. But, how did this need come up? I mean, how did we get here to have this kind of fun, considering the greatness of guys like Bill Johnson and Jack Youngblood and the like that we've had an opportunity to meet over the years? You just kind of figured something like this would have been taken care of years ago.
Yeah, you really would have, and you can talk to coach, and Billy can tell you just the pensions and the insurance for players that played before '92 just weren't part of the negotiated stands. Billy?
I agree. I mean, you're right too. That a lot of the stuff wasn't planned afterwards. That's when they really got serious. They started saying things, looking at, how people are doing, and they said, "Hey, they're playing, making us all this money. There's something we got to do, but it's still not coming through fast enough." So that's one reason Mike establishes Gridiron Great Assistance Fund, because of that reason. So these guys are now, there's a means sometimes to help them to get established, get going again.
And I'll tell you what,
we all thank Mike for doing that.
Well, and one of the things that when we're on Radio Row and guys like Rob and myself are seeing the former players, the guys we grew up watching that are older now, and some of the health issues that they're dealing with, or you see the limp, or you see the hands, and you realize they need this help. And Mark, tonight it's Thursday, a Super Bowl week. It would be the Big Dicka Jaws cigar party, one of the best parties every Super Bowl. But that's also a major fundraiser for the Gridiron Greats Assistance Fund. And with no party happening this year, people that want to help the legends of the game, how can they?
Yeah, you can go to gridirongreats.org and buy some of the wonderful memorabilia on there. They can donate directly like we do. Please go to gridirongreats.org and let's all help Coach Dick and these great heroes of ours that have entertained us for decades deal with some of the complexities, and especially with COVID upon us and other aspects of medical care not being as readily available. Coach has really stepped up to help people and make sure they're getting the care that they needed. So really, let's all go to www.gridirongreats.org and help out.
Nothing goes better with pigskins than pigskins. That is absolutely the truth. Bill Johnson, Billy White Shoes Johnson, thank you much for stopping by to speak with a legend. Guys like me, it's always an honor, man. I wish I had that speed, and I wish I could dance like you did all the way through.
Well, thank you. Just enroll at my dance studio. You'll be in good shape.
I think I'm too far gone.
Just the visual of that, Billy, just scares me.
Yeah, let's not poke that bear. Bill Johnson, Mark Singleton, thank you so much for stopping by. Dietz Tractor's big game coverage continues next here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Hindsight is 2020. 2020 was a brutal year with a lot we couldn't control. Pandemic, economy, unemployment. What can we control? Our job, our career. Don't look back with 2020 hindsight next year and see yourself in that 2020 job. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. You could start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. Live online classes meet just twice a week. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents and Doug.
Breathe out and repeat after me. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Your bird is eating my candles.
Your bird is eating my candles.
No, seriously, he's making a mess.
No, seriously, he's...
Liberty, 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 Liberty.
Get a customized quote at libertymutual.com.
Before we rodeo San Antonio, mosey on over to Dietz Tractor. We're busting out of the chutes early with a stock full of LS tractors. And this is no 8-second ride. Take your time and choose from a field that includes compact and utility tractors at low prices. Excel in your field with LS Tractor, 6-time winner of the EDA Dealer's Choice Award. Backed by a limited 6-year warranty, LS Tractors will give you more standard features and more performance for less money. These are some of the hottest tractors around, and Dietz Tractor wants to sell them to you today at unbelievable prices. Dietz Tractor, where you get more tractor for less.
It's the 55th Annual Football Championship, and you can follow all the action at betonline.net. Tampa Bay meets Kansas City on Sunday.
Sunday, and all eyes from around the world will be focused on what is expected to be a classic. Being billed as the perfect matchup of all time, it's the GOAT against his successor. In 4 previous meetings, each QB has won twice. Check out all the action this week at betonline.net as a true clash of the Titans is on tap. Always available online or your mobile device. Visit betonline.net today. Bring the game home at betonline.net.
It's time for some straight talk. Your tax return could look different this year, but you're still going to hear a lot of noise about how to spend it. So when the big carriers tell you to splurge on the latest nonsense, just tune it out. With Straight Talk, you can get a Samsung Galaxy A51 for just $199. Plus, get the $45 unlimited talk, text, and data plan with no contract on America's best networks for up to 50% less. Tune out the nonsense and tune in to Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
Achieve your fitness goals this year with Body Armor Light. Body Armor Light is the low-calorie sports drink hydrating your active lifestyle. It has no artificial sweeteners, no sugar added, and only 20 calories per 16-ounce bottle. Whatever your goals might be, Body Armor Light is keeping you hydrated during your workouts and your busy day. From now until April 30th, buy $20 of any Body Armor product and earn $10 in fitness cash to select fitness retailers nationwide. Learn more at BACommitToFit.com. That's BACommit2Fit.com.
Stephen A. Smith on San Antonio Sports Leader. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. KZDC San Antonio. Dietz Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's Big Game coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is The Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com. Go there, post pace. You see the lovely mug of one Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. James Pleasure. Natalie attired in a headband today. He was getting physical earlier. Hey, we got some breaking news, man. We got we have some huge news for San Antonio. Pleasure, we got one of those 3-note stings available to us. Because this is coming around Ben.
ESPN San Antonio. Breaking news.
It appears that San Antonio will be named tomorrow the host to the NCAA women's basketball tournament this season. The entirety of the bubble will be played right here in San Antonio. This is huge news for our fair city.
It is fantastic news for the city of San Antonio. We were already going to host the women's Final Four, but do the entire tournament, every single game, using gyms throughout San Antonio, and I believe up in San Marcos, even Austin. But everything is going to be here. And you think about the men's tournament's going to do that in Indianapolis. So this isn't a surprise. I think it would have been a more of a surprise and a kick below the belt if they didn't do that for the women. But huge. They're going to apparently announce it Friday, but it's leaking out now. Every local outlet is reporting on it, and different people that I've been texting over the last 20 minutes are expecting the official announcement from the NCAA tomorrow. And I think that's huge. The question that I have, but one, that's great for the hotels in San Antonio, because that's going to be a lot of teams, 68 teams that are going to be coming here for at least a couple of days, and some are going to stay for a lot longer. But also, we're open for business in the great state of Texas. I don't know if they are going to allow fans or not allow fans. I know that you go and you see the Spurs right now aren't hosting fans. There's some debate on whether the rodeo should happen or not. The judge says no. The rodeo says we're having a rodeo, San Antonio. But you know, I went to some UTSA football games this year. I went to the Valero Alamo Bowl. There's ways to do it. A lot of other stadiums in Texas are open. I don't know if they're going to have these games open to the public. At the very least, I hope families are able to come, because, again, that puts a lot of people in hotel rooms in San Antonio for a month.
And it keeps our foot in the door. More than anything else, on a strange year like this, at least the NCAA was down here. They saw the product as it continues to be improved. Visit San Antonio continues their extraordinary effort to market our city in a variety of different and unique ways. And while they might not be able to bring the fans that we're accustomed to, it does keep the hotel rooms full, and there is a ripple effect down to the restaurants and down onto the Riverwalk and everything that goes along with it. The bubble will be in place, but our place in line hasn't diminished, and certainly are still looked at by the NCAA as a prime venue that's capable of hosting large events. And while we had the Final Four, we knew that was coming, to have the whole tournament and to be able to bring together, the entirety of the city, as you said, up 35 up to San Marcos. Good deal for San Antonio. That's very good news for our city as we host another great tournament. Now we'll get to see the ladies playing right here in our city, although we'll be watching it from our living rooms.
Well, and again, I think for some, if they're able to go, and you think about some of the variety of gyms between Incarnate Word and Trinity and St. Mary's, some of the bigger high school facilities, a lot of gym space in this town. So, like I said, I would have been more surprised if they didn't do that, knowing that they had moved the entire men's tournament to Indianapolis, but huge that we'll get the official word on that tomorrow. We're going to basketball state now.
We are indeed. In fact, we'll have LaPhonso Ellis on, the game day host there with ESPN. Let's see, what time is LaPhonso getting here? 6:15 is when he arrives. He'll be, playing host to all the game day activities on Saturday in preparation for UNC Duke. The rivalry that still is important, though not an earth shaker in this current climate, as neither team is currently ranked in the top 25. The Spurs win last night. Let's take it for what it was, and they get a couple of days off, and they get to prep and go back up against Houston and see if they can figure out a way to stop Christian Wood. But in the meantime, DeMar DeRozan picks up his game, opens up his bag the last 8 minutes of the game. Trey, Lyles, and Jakob Poeltl offered just enough defense and rim protection, and the Spurs come from behind to beat a bedraggled and quite frankly confused Minnesota Timberwolves team in the fourth quarter as the Spurs go ahead and take one home. It was tough. I'll say it was well earned because neither team was very good, but it certainly wasn't pretty. And I don't know what to take away from that game, because quite frankly, nobody that I thought would excelled at all.
There was nothing to take away from that game. That game had you pissed off. That game was awful. That game was ugly until the fourth quarter. And even then, the only thing that you could take away from that game is they had no business winning. They got run out of the gym, yet they got a W at the end of the day. And in the standings, that's all that really matters. I didn't see a whole lot of positives in that game. I mean, sure, we could all point to a Trey, or you can point to Jakob, what DeMar did in the fourth, but you had an awful game from Lonnie, an awful game from Keldon for 3 quarters. That was a game, if there might have been a crowd there, that Pop would have got tossed in about the second. I got to get out of here and go drink some wine, because it was just a ugly basketball game all the way around.
Spurs sit at 12-10. They rocket up to 8th place from 10th. They get the Houston Rockets on Saturday. They get a day today to kind of lick their wounds. Another day tomorrow. I would like to think Pop will have the guys on a practice floor, because time to practice is so rare and difficult to come by. And you need to take advantage of this homestand before you hit the road and have zero time at all. So I do expect to see a team that has been put through its paces a bit tomorrow as they prep for the Houston Rockets. LaMarcus Aldridge was certainly missed, but last night I felt like Rudy Gay would have played a pretty important role on this team because of his ability to go score when others can't. That professional bucket getter, while he's had his ups and downs, I think his absence was felt more last night than ordinarily would have been, because no one else was finding the bucket other than DeMar and a little bit of DeJounte.
Yeah, and again, they could not afford to lose that game. And I don't know what really changed in the fourth, other than they started making shots and Minnesota started missing shots. They rushed shots. It's not like you saw the Spurs just clamp down defensively, but they did hold Minnesota to 18 points. I'm not sure. You got to give the Spurs credit for that, but it did look like Minnesota tightened up as the Spurs made that run. And that's a young basketball team that doesn't know how to win. They don't know how to close, and they showed it last night. Only thing you could take away from that game is you got to win at the end of the day. Everything else, throw it in the trash can. It was ugly, awful basketball, but it's a win.
Respect to Darius Baisley, though. Kid can play. I mean, he ripped the Spurs up. That was a statement game to guys that are of equal age and talent. And Darius owned tonight, but the Spurs take the win, 111-108. Coming back, let's look to Houston. The Texans drama continues. We hear from the Denver Bronco and former Texan Kareem Jackson that maybe Denver Bronco might be a fine landing spot. Let's talk with John McClain to figure out where we sit just a couple of days away from the Super Bowl down in Tampa. John McClain will be here next on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
You could win $50,000 in the ESPN San Antonio Big Game Score Contest. Can you pick it perfectly for the chance to win $50,000? Go now to ESPNSA.com and enter what you think the score will be. Sign up today at ESPNSA.com.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
This football season, more than any other, we're all reflecting on the wonder years of football. And in celebrating the heart of America's favorite sport, we've got a bold snack that'll help rekindle some really great memories. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds have the bold flavors you crave, like Korean kimchi barbecue, pasilla chili cheese, spicy dill, and more. Get them at H-E-B because, hey, pigskins and pigskins, they go together. Visit porkrinds.com to see how you can win $5,000 when you celebrate Pork Rind Appreciation Day with Southern Recipe small batch.
Take your romance game to a whole new level this Valentine's with Diamonds Direct's most popular offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase happening right now. You know jewelry is the perfect gift to celebrate your love. And with this incredible offer, you can afford to go big. Like a $6,000 diamond tennis bracelet, just $100 a month. Or a $3,000 pair of diamond earrings, just $50 a month. Diamonds Direct has teamed up with the world's top jewelry designers for an expanded selection of Valentine's surprises for any budget. Romantic gifts starting as low as $400. Rings, earrings, pendants, bands, colored gemstones. The guaranteed largest selection, highest quality, and always the best value. Whether you shop in store or online at DiamondsDirect.com. Make this the most memorable Valentine's ever with 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase, including engagement rings. Now through Valentine's Day. Celebrate your love at Diamonds Direct.
At the shops at La Cantera.
Ready to create your own income with your own home-based business where there's no such thing as getting laid off? If a billionaire entrepreneur spent 5 years and $20 million searching for the next big trend, wouldn't you want to know what he found? If you're serious about making money from home without having to leave home, then write this down. www.goherenext.com. You decide your income. Get the facts now. GoHereNext.com.
Are you more than $10,000 in debt? Feel like you're on a never-ending treadmill, staying in one place and never getting ahead with those minimum payments? Do you feel like there's no way out? There are programs in place to help you get free of your debt, and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. The program at Total Financial Freedom can help you get debt-free in months instead of decades. Call Total Financial now at 800-464-7144. That's 800-464-7144.
Injuries happen. If you twist, pull, pump, or snap something, you need to know about the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. From a minor sprain to a compound fracture, TSAOG has got you covered. Not all injuries require surgery. Dr. David Espinosa treats all non-operative orthopedic injuries and concussion baseline testing. Telemedicine services are available through Ortho Connect. If you're hurting, go to the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Online, TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
Every player matters, and finding the right person can make all the difference.
In 1999, the Indianapolis coach traded Marshall Falk to the St. Louis Rams for a second and fifth round pick. The move helped transform the Rams offense into one of the most dynamic in the history of the NFL. They became known as the greatest show on turf. Falk won the NFL MVP in 2000, and the Rams went on to reach 2 Super Bowls, winning Super Bowl 34.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
When scouting talent, teams use all the tools at their disposal to determine the best fit for their rosters. LinkedIn Jobs works that way for your business. Post a job with targeted screening questions, and LinkedIn will quickly get your role in front of qualified candidates. Manage job posts and contact candidates from a single view as functions are streamlined onto one simple screen. And now you can post a job for free at linkedin.com/sports. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
Dietz Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's Big Game coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
I had a couple of conversations with him, just with him, saying that, Denver is a place that he's interested in landing. So, everybody know the type of talent he possesses, what type of guy he is. So, it's just, it'll be nice, nice to have him, but we'll see what happens.
That was Kareem Jackson. This is the Blitz. Your Dietz Tractor Big Game coverage continues. I'm Rob Thompson. He's Jason Minix. We are joined, as always, on Thursday afternoon by John McClain of the Houston Chronicle. John, welcome aboard. How's your day going?
My day's going great, guys. How are you?
Doing well. Wish we were sitting on Radio Row, but it is what it is. But the NFL never stops. We're doing it virtually, same way you guys are. We'll get into your experiences this week of all the Super Bowls you've been to and not going this year. But you heard Kareem talking about Deshaun, and this Watson story is the one that just hasn't died at all. Are you surprised at this point that we still haven't heard from Deshaun personally, yet this story continues to have the legs that it does?
I expect at some point that his agent will have him talk to somebody from ESPN or the NFL Network. And when he does, if you want to get traded and they're saying they won't trade you, you're going to have to attack the team. And so he's not going to attack David Culley because he doesn't know him. He's not going to attack Tim Kelly because he loves him. He's not going to attack Pep Hamilton, the quarterback coach, or Josh McCown, who I think will be the new assistant quarterback coach. So he doesn't know anything about the defense. So it would have to be Nick Caserio, which I don't think, because he's got 6 Super Bowl rings. And the last time we talked to Sean, he said, I just want to hold up a Lombardi trophy. And Casario's got 6. So I guess it'd be the owner, Cal McNair, the executive VP of Football Ops, Jack Easterby. Well, there's nothing to be said about Easterby any worse than what is being said, other than it would come for him. And like you could say, Cal McNair's a liar. He lied to me. I just don't see him doing that. It's just not his personality. And I just, I don't know. I'm surprised by all of this. I'm dying to know what he'll say when he finally talks. Every team in the league that needs a quarterback think he's coming there. I guarantee he's not going to Denver. I told him in Carolina, he ain't coming to Carolina or Chicago. He's not going anywhere where they can't be guaranteed of getting a top quarterback to take his place. And the only team that you can guarantee that would be the Jets. Maybe the Dolphins at number 3, which is the Texans pick for the Laremy Tunsil, Kenny Stills trade. But then you wouldn't be guaranteed of getting the second best. It would be the third best. And then the Dolphins' future picks are all going to be, you would think, low, considering they were 10-6 this year, although the Texans thought their pick this year would be low, and it's number 3. And so that's why, to me, the only team to deal with would be the Jets. All these others can be wishful thinking. Like in San Francisco, they keep trying to think Jimmy Garoppolo to the Texans because he came from New England, and Nick Caserio was there. And the Raiders are trying to say, trade Derek Carr and throw in a bunch of draft choices and players. And I'm thinking, no, they've already been through the Carr family. It's not going to be Derek Carr. So I think they could take a guy like Sam Darnold and the second overall pick and take a quarterback like, say, Zach Wilson from BYU, start Darnold until they think Wilson's ready to play, and then you could trade Darnold and get a pick for him. So there's a lot of things they could do, but they're saying right now they have no interest in trading him. They love him. He's under contract, and he's their quarterback.
So far, so good. He's John McClain of the Houston Chronicle. John, how uncomfortable is Houston willing to get here?
Well, uncomfortable would be if you don't trade him now, say you just let him miss the offseason. Now, I saw that if he sits out preseason and training camp, it would cost him about $3.7 million. No big deal. He's made millions and millions. Right. He's got endorsements. But you get into regular season games and you're paid $10 million over 17 weeks, but you don't get credit for that. Plus, you get fined. And then that rolls over to 2022 when you're supposed to be making $35 million. So even though, and you don't get credit for the season unless you show up, I think, for the last 6 games. That's what Dwayne Brown did in 2017. Mm-hmm. He came in, started blasting Bob McNair and making a racist thing, and Rick Smith traded him to Seattle the day after they went to Seattle. I remember telling Dwayne, you probably stayed up there because I think you're going back there. And but so I don't know what the strategy is with Deshaun, his agent, David Mulligetta from Austin, but, scrubbing Texans from all your social media platforms. They did that Saturday after on Friday. They all talked about how much they loved him and he's going to be the quarterback. Somebody wrote me, what does he think he is, a 15-year-old? And but we'll see. It's going to be ugly. That's why I think at some point, so he won't get back to him. And, if you want out, the agent will tell you do not talk to anybody because your resolve, which is so strong, could start to weaken. If you're talking to David Culley, who's a great talker, if you're talking to Tim Kelly and Beth Hamilton and Josh McCown, and so it might weaken him a little bit. But I think before they made a decision, they should ask he and his agent to meet with them. And they sit down in the same room, social distancing, of course, and let him state his case and let them say what they think. And if they leave that meeting and they're sure among themselves it would go into the regular season, do you want a player be forced to have to play? And that's when I think they should trade him and trade him to the Jets.
And again, I mean, the Jets and Miami seem to be the two top choices and the ones that certainly make sense. I look at the game plan that the Texans or not the Texans, that Watson's camp is using here in the media without anything coming individually from Deshaun, but the rap lyrics and scrubbing the social media. You heard the comments that Dick Vermeil made today, and I understand where Coach Vermeil is coming from, especially from the the time that he was coaching and involved in the NFL as a regular head coach. But just the way Deshaun is going about it doesn't seem to be the game plan that you see most players do that are trying to force their way out of a situation.
Well, it's better not to talk at this point. I think we're a long way away from him having a chance to get out of town. The first one would be the draft. First day's April 29th. There's a lot of time before that. And first of all, the reaction I get from fans on the radio and also my Friday mailbag, which most of the people who are down on Watson, I think, are bosses, own companies, or they're general managers. They don't think any employee should be able to dictate who you hire, who you fire, and where you go. And other ones, a lot of older people who are more conservative. And as I tell them, times have changed. And what the NFL does not want is what the NBA has with a few agents like Rich Paul, who has LeBron, where a few agents and players can dictate where players go and basically who wins and loses. And they don't want that. And this would be a great example. To David Mulligetta's credit, Jalen Ramsey's one of his many clients. He was miserable in Jacksonville. He made it very unpleasant there. They traded him to the Rams for 2 number ones, and he got a big new contract. He went to the playoffs, so he's happy playing a big market. So I'm not sure that that's what Watson wants, because until I hear from him, I'm tired of hearing all the unnamed sources close to Watson leaking to ESPN and the NFL Network.
John, as the Super Bowl week goes through, certainly one of the bigger items of the week is the announcement for the Hall of Fame. What's that process been like for you, virtually?
We did it 2 weeks ago. I feel confident that Drew Pearson, the senior nominee, that Tom Flores, the coach, and Bill Nunn, the contributor, will be in there. I'm pretty sure that Manning guy will make it. Charles Woodson, Calvin Johnson. That would leave 2 more spaces. There are guys I'd love to see it, like John Lynch and Clay Matthews, but man, it's just so hard. I've been pushing for those guys for years, but the competition is just fierce. And so the way they're doing it, they're not telling us ahead of time. They're afraid we'll leak it. So they're going to, on the NFL Honors Show, which is 2 hours, they're going to announce them one at a time. And I'm guessing, I don't know if it's ever 15 minutes. I'm guessing Manning would be last, so his speech would be the one that people want to hear. But the one I'm interested in is Drew Pearson, because it's taken him so long. And I know how disappointed and devastated he was when he wasn't part of the Centennial class with 10 seniors. So I'm hoping we've made it up to him and he'll be a part of this class.
Well, I can tell you now, if they try to tell Drew he's only got 15 minutes, man, they're going to have to play the music, go to the commercial break, come back, play more music, that man is going to talk longer than 15 minutes.
He's going to have a hard time topping his speech in Philadelphia. I told him a few months ago, no matter what he did the rest of his life, he was never going to top that one, and he won't.
He won't. And so no worries about Tom Flores either. They got a bit of an ad campaign from Coors kind of hinging on this.
Yeah, well, I didn't even know anything about that. People are going to act like that had something to do with it. That didn't have jack to do with squat. Nobody brought it up. Somebody brought it up afterward that some beard started a campaign, and I'm like, I didn't know anything about it. Neither did anybody else. And yet when it's over, Coors or whoever it was is going to be banging their chest to get some publicity out of it, like they were responsible. When we voted Floyd Little in, the great running back, he thanked some friend of his that had been mounted a campaign. None of us on the committee had heard of it, didn't know anything about it, but we weren't going to say, oh, his best friend didn't have anything to do with it, because if he thought it was, then more power to him.
John McClain, there you go. That's why you listen. John McClain of the Houston Chronicle here on ESPN San Antonio for his weekly. Stay safe, John. We look forward to talking to you next week.
Rob and Jason, thank you guys very much. Enjoy Super Sunday.
The poet laureate of Texas sports writers, John McClain, very quickly followed up by Super Agent Leigh Steinberg. Yes, he's going to join us next. He represents a couple of guys in the Super Bowl. He's got a starting running back, and he's got a starting quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. I heard some news about him recently. Leigh will join us next. You want to stay around. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If it's you or you get a call from a family member or a friend that they got arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go to the website mybestbailbonds.com. You can even start the bonding process there online. If you don't need to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail. A lot of reasons for that. And you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option, AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas. Services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, in the Valley, anywhere in between, call AA Best Bail Bonds. License number 149. The phone number 210-225-2121. 225-2121 or online mybestbailbonds.com.
Sundays are for the grill. The Sunday Sports Grill, 11 in the morning to 1. Chop it up and grill with former and current Rock the Mic champs Michael Jimenez and Quinn Hudson. The Sunday Sports Grill, 11 to 1 every Sunday.
Northeast Independent School District is now hiring and training school bus drivers. Whether you're looking for a new job, you're a retiree, or you're retired military, come help drive students to succeed and apply at Northeast ISD Transportation today. No experience is necessary, and you will get paid while earning your CDL and learning how to drive a school bus. The Northeast ISD Transportation Department is ranked as one of the top 100 school bus fleets in America, and our drivers receive exceptional pay and benefits, including health, dental, vision, and retirement. If you're looking for work, if you're retired from the military, or you simply want to make a difference in our community, apply now with the Northeast ISD Transportation Department. Join our team and discover Northeast ISD by calling 210-356-9229. That's 210-356-9229. Or you can text Drive Bus to 797979. That's text Drive Bus to 797979.
Napa know-how. Getting $20 back when you buy a Napa Legend premium battery is a win-win. Getting it from the best car people around is a win-win-win. Getting it before you're stranded somewhere, that's a win-win-win-win. Save $20 when you get a Napa Legend premium battery. And if that sounds like a lot of wins, you're right. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Napa know-how. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care Centers while supplies last. Offer ends 2/28/21.
Thinking about life insurance? Did you know in just a few minutes you can find the best price from up to 10 price competitive companies for free? You can with SelectQuote. For example, George is 39. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $22 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino, and believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-461-4545. That's 800-461-4545. 800-461-4545. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Fact: no one likes feeling lost, whether you're stranded on a deserted island or while you're filing your taxes. But with Tax Act expert help, you'll get access to real live CPAs and tax experts 7 days a week. They'll help you get your maximum refund guaranteed. I double pinky promise it. So don't get stranded while doing your taxes. Get the help you need. File for less and get more with Tax Act. Start for free at taxact.com. See taxact.com for complete details.
Deeds Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's Big Game coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM and on the go at ESPNSA.com. Your Deets Tractor Big Game coverage continues, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. We'd like to welcome on the show a good friend of the show, a guy we've gotten to know quite well over the years, Leigh Steinberg, a super agent and all of that. But, you know, you get behind all that, you find out he's just a really good guy. Leigh, welcome aboard with Jason and Rob.
It's my pleasure to be with you in this virtual Super Bowl.
You know, it's definitely a different year, has been. I did see on Facebook earlier today, you got the first of 2 vaccination shots. Congratulations.
Thank you. You know, I mean, I know people have the right to their own personal judgment and opinion, but when I was a little kid, people still got polio and TB, and the vaccine saved me from that. So I'm a believer.
Well, it's good to hear you got it. Best of luck and stay healthy for us. Leigh Steinberg joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. So as you mentioned, this is a virtual Super Bowl. And, you know, as a representative to so many athletes, it's very rare that so many athletes come together in one place and you can meet with all your friends and clients in one place as you're stuck virtually. How's the Super Bowl been for you?
So this is very different. As you know, the Super Bowl's become a convention of Americana, and it's big business, big politics, big sports, big entertainment, everyone in one place. And normally it gives me the ability to meet with owners, general managers, clients. It's one big networking event all week. And normally Wednesday and Thursday I would be on Radio Row. Last year I did 70 interviews. Friday night we'd have a party for our friends, our clients and their families. And then Saturday I'd hold my big Super Bowl extravaganza. And this year we had to do it virtually. So we had a really good director in our VP, Julia Farron, and we raised money for Make-A-Wish Foundation and Warriors Rising, and brought attention to racial justice. And we gave out our humanitarian awards. And anyone who wants to can see that by going to steinbergsports.com and just hitting it. And it's our best effort to try to make a good chicken sandwich out of something else.
Yep. Exactly. And by the way, Julia is such a rock star. Watching some of that and perusing the auction items, if you got a couple extra bucks, it's some incredible things that are available for auction for about the next week or so. Now, Leigh, while everything has been virtual, you are going to the game in Tampa Bay on Sunday. You've got a couple of clients in the game. Not only do you have a quarterback on one team that everybody knows, Patrick, but also Ronald Jones. So you've got two key players in this game. How do you stay neutral?
I root for a lot of offense because Ronald Jones gained 1,000 yards this year, the running back from McKinney, Texas. And I'm going to root for him to score lots of touchdowns. Patrick, it's all about touchdown passes, winning. So I've had this before where I had two quarterbacks in the game. And I don't, you can't, if you watch me, you can't see much visible response to what's going on. But internally, it's all that way. But it's, remember when I brought Patrick to you in 2017 at the Super Bowl?
Yes,
absolutely.
We do.
I mean, before he got drafted, and then a couple of years ago up in Minnesota, before
he showed up with a cast. When we first met Patrick, he was wearing a cast, so we had no idea what was coming, did we?
Like, who is this guy from Texas Tech,
Well, we knew, and, the funny story there is at the Super Bowl party that you had that year in Houston, because, it was in Houston. My daughter was a freshman in college at the time, got to go to that Super Bowl party, and Patrick recognized us, and he was walking around going, well, hey, you're a familiar face. Can I hang out with you? So for a good while, he was hanging out with my daughter and a couple of her college friends. And, now I don't think that you could get anywhere near Patrick at any kind of event.
Here's the truth. If you like him on the field, you love him off the field, because I guarantee you, if you walked up to him, he would remember you, he'd recognize you, and he is so grounded for someone of his profile that he's just a really nice person, and he's concerned about the feelings of people around him. But you raise an interesting point. The way I always knew when a Warren Moon or a Troy Aikman or Steve Young or Drew Bledsoe or one of those players elevated in stature is I used to be able to walk with them at a public event, and we'd walk side by side. And then the more famous they became, the more they were mobbed. And, I'd find myself 6 blocks away from a client. And the only way I could have got back to him was a scrum.
Well, that's kind of the place you want to be in those situations. He is Leigh Steinberg joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. For those of you unaware and probably heard about it, Cameron Crowe back in the mid-'90s made a movie, Jerry Maguire, about an agent. And Leigh was the subject of that. And if you saw the movie and you're hearing Leigh, you can see the very great differences in how they were portrayed. In this modern world, and in your position as an agent to those that are really preeminent in the sports, what do you view your role as?
It's, first of all, the most important skill, Jason, is listening. If you can get yourself into the heart and mind of another human being, cut below the surface, and understand their deepest anxieties and fears and their greatest hopes and dreams, then you can figure out how to fulfill them. And so you look at it holistically. First step is to try to retrace roots, go to the high school, college, professional community, set up charitable programs like Patrick's 15 in the Mahomies, or Aikman paying his scholarship back to UCLA. And then the next step is mentoring somebody through the draft process and trying to help them be their best presentation and best self. And then mentoring someone as they go through the sport, and then laying the groundwork for second career. So if I'm doing my job right, the 11 of our players are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and you look at what they do in second career, and they're in broadcast or business, but they're have a really happy and fulfilled life.
And they get it done. Leigh Steinberg with us here on ESPN San Antonio. Last year, when we were sitting on Radio Row down in Miami, I asked you, if Patrick Mahomes wins this Super Bowl, how does that change? And you said, well, we get him into the marketing machine. And, you know, he's got a gazillion commercials, his elevation, his status, everything is at the top right now. And you got GOAT versus baby GOAT and how everybody's couching it. If he wins back-to-back Super Bowls, what does that mean for him? After you signed him, I don't know, what was it, $500 million this offseason?
What it means is that if a player performs dramatically, this is the premier marketing event that we have in American sports. And so what happens is millions of people who might not even watch a regular season football game are drawn into this. And folks like you doing the week before, it's a publicity making machine. And what it offers a player is the ability to cross over from being a sports figure to being a household name. And the more that you do it, the bigger that becomes. And so it really gives Patrick a chance. Win or lose, he's attained a certain stature, but it gives him the opportunity to continue building a profile in a way where he can do a lot of good. And you notice he spoke out on racial justice. He's willing to use his platform for good, and it just elevates it that much more. A player who performs dramatically, and I'll give you an example. Desmond Howard was MVP of the Super Bowl, and right after that, we signed him to a contract with the Raiders that we never would have been at those economics, except that he had the Super Bowl magic, and it transforms someone in public. It doesn't have to change them internally, but their profile just goes way up. The quarterbacks in NFL football, because it's so popular, are the new movie stars, you know, of the age. And this one's a classic because you've got arguably the greatest quarterback of all time, and then maybe his heir apparent.
He is Leigh Steinberg joining us here on ESPN San Antonio for our big game coverage brought to you by Dietz Tractor. Now, I'm curious, as you raise your clients' Q rating, as they cross over and become the stars that they become in this modern world, they're becoming bigger and bigger stars. And we're seeing around the NFL players now taking control, quarterbacks now taking control, or trying to grasp some control of their playing career, acting, and asking to leave certain teams. As an agent who's dealt with quarterbacks and superstars for 20 years, what is your role in that in the broadest scope? How do you help your clients get happy when they're not?
So, first of all, when the draft occurs, I'm much less focused on whether someone's the third pick in the first round or the sixth pick, but that they go to a team that's got stable, visionary ownership, that has a front office that understands how to do every transaction and evaluation, that's got a coaching staff that has some concept. And so you're doing everything you can behind the scenes, even during the draft, to maybe dissuade teams that don't fit that, because the quarterback's totally a function of his supporting cast, his coaching, and the rest of it. But this all takes place very quietly. We don't want to be in public looking like a young man's going to order the NFL around. And the difference in the Watson situation is it's all public. And normally, if you want to get a player traded and someone comes to me, I will say the last thing you ever want to do is go public. Because if you go, and I haven't heard Deshaun Watson himself go public, but the information's out. So, and he has the right to do whatever he wants to do. But the point is that you're putting the team into a situation where other teams they could do the trade to know that the incumbent team has damaged goods, and that they have an unhappy player and they're going to have to trade him. And then other teams don't offer something that's respectable enough to make it decent. So if you want to be traded, don't say anything about it. Let your team take the initiative.
And figure it out from there. Now, obviously, I mean, it is public, and you do have a client down there in South Florida who's been associated with some of those trade rumors. So obviously that does involve you there. If you think that you might be a part of a trade, and not necessarily the Watson trade, but let's just talk in general terms. If you've got a player that is being rumored and you know the situation might not be the best, do you lobby against having that happen?
Of course. But again, very privately. I mean, remember, you have a draft in football. The player, again, we try to do what we can to communicate where a player be happy, but he doesn't ultimately have any choice. His only choice is to go back to school. So I don't have a problem with a different thing. Now, normally, Jason, this doesn't occur because the one player on the team, to win in contemporary football, you have to have a franchise quarterback. And that's a quarterback that you can build around for 10 to 12 years, who you can win because of rather than with, and who, importantly, in critical situations, he's thrown a couple picks, the game is getting out of hand, the crowd's starting to boo, the center's looking at the quarterback in this game like he's on hallucinogens. What does he do now? And someone that can compartmentalize, adopt a quiet mind, and then elevate their level of play in a critical situation, that's the key to being able to win and get to the Super Bowl. So if they have such a player, they're doing everything possible from a franchise perspective to make sure that that's happy. And from a quarterback standpoint, what you'd like is stability. So when you take a player like Troy Aikman, he played his whole career in Dallas. And once you put down roots and everything, most players, quarterbacks, don't want to change. They want to be part of the same system. Now you're watching Tom Brady, that's contrary to that, but how New England never let him get away, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you have to be Tom Brady to do that kind of stuff. Leigh Steinberg joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. Leigh, we appreciate your time today. I know this has been an odd and strange week that we hope not to ever have to duplicate, but it sounds like you've done a lot to make sure it's working well. SteinbergSports.com. As I said, I'm watching the Super Bowl party honoring Make-A-Wish, and I recommend everybody go check it out. Lots of things to be bid on as well. Leigh, stay safe. Take care of yourself. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Leigh Steinberg right here on ESPN San Antonio for his yearly appearance. Got a little bit of work to do this weekend. Guys on both sides. If you missed any of what we have done today, go to ESPNSA.com. The AA Best Bail Bonds Audio Vault is a prime locale for all your podcasting and Blitz needs. Coming back, let's talk about Deshaun Watson. Kareem Jackson had some thoughts about Denver. Is that a possibility? We'll look into it. And don't forget, we're going to be joined by LaPhonso Ellis. He's going to join us at 6:15. We're looking at NCAA basketball. Very quickly followed by Jerheme Urban, head football coach of your Trinity Tigers, as they get ready for their spring football kickoff. Yeah, they're playing football here in just a couple of weeks. Hold on. We'll be right back. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
You think about Trinity about to get started. If you're in charge of getting uniforms for your little league soccer team, baseball team, softball team, maybe your beer league softball team, those seasons are about to get underway. You need to get your uniforms, and no better place to get those uniforms than Sammy's Embroidery Club over there on San Pedro. In the past, if you've ordered uniforms from overseas with the shipping issues that are going on, Don't fight that headache, man. Shop local. Shop Sammy's Embroidery Club. If you're a business owner, a manager, club leader, you need your logo on anything. Masks, shirts, jackets, caps, beanies, book bags. Sam can do it for you. In fact, he has over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Nobody has better prices. Sammy has all the big name brands and is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too small, certainly no order too big. Check the website, samsembroidery.com. Or better yet, get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro. It's a mile inside Loop 410 next to Big Lots across from McDonald's. All items come with a warranty, and you know you're going to work with Sammy on your project. He's the owner, and he's by his phone right now. Call him 210-824-3900. 824-3900 for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
The ESPN San Antonio 10K Payday. This hour's winning word is
dub.
Enter that word now at ESPNSA.com. Another reason it pays to listen to ESPN San Antonio all day, every day.
Great cash, homie. Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes in every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
The biggest football game of the year is this Sunday. Where will you be watching? Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar, now with 4 San Antonio area locations, has everything you need to enjoy this year's big game safely. Drink specials, giveaways, goodies, giveaways, sound on, and more giveaways at all 4 Slackers locations. Slackers Super Sunday is going on this weekend at all 4 locations. Visit slackersbarssa.com. Slackersbarssa.com. Or find Slackers Sports and Arcade Bar on Facebook for more info.
Carmen's startup found an angel investor, but now they're asking for a miracle from her development team.
Hello, this is Carmen. That's exciting news. I guess we could launch early.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
It's the 55th Annual Football Championship, and you can follow all the action at betonline.net. Tampa Bay meets Kansas City on Sunday, and all eyes from around the world will be focused on what is expected to be a classic. Being billed as the perfect matchup of all time, it's the GOAT against his successor. In 4 previous meetings, each QB has won twice. Check out all the action this week at betonline.net as a true clash of the Titans is on tap. Always available online or your mobile device. Visit betonline.net today. Bring the game home at betonline.net.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the name your price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The name your price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Wendy's is dropping the hammer with 2 made-to-order breakfast sandwiches for just $4.
So if you've been wronged by pre-made breakfast and their frozen folded eggs and rubbery microwaved bacon,
get to Wendy's and get the breakfast you deserve. Like the honey butter chicken biscuit, classic bacon, egg, and cheese, and the classic sausage, egg, and cheese. Choose any 2 of them for just $4. Justice is served. Only at Wendy's. We got you.
Offer valid for a limited time only. Price and participation may vary at U.S. Wendy's. Single item at regular price.
Dietz Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's Big Game coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
You're on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. We had John McClain on earlier. You know, we have John every week, and we've been able to follow not only what's going on inside the Texans buildings, but what's going on the outside, and then also slowly watch John McClain swing from there's no way he'll ever leave, and Jack Easterby has nothing to do with any of this, too. Well, it's the Jets might be a pretty good opportunity. The Jets might work out pretty well. And then we hear Kareem Jackson today. He's talking about the Broncos. So while the Texans are kind of acting like they're standing firm, I don't think the rest of the league believes that's going to happen.
Well, and again, I think, initially the thought of there's no way in hell they're going to trade this team, and that's where John was. And, they don't want to, but they're going to have to. Now, the biggest thing, and the only reason why I think this Kareem Jackson interview is making the rounds is because Kareem Jackson says he has actually spoken to Deshaun Watson.
Man, honestly, man, I could talk to Deshaun as much as I want. I mean, it doesn't matter, what I talk to him about or what I can do. It has to be something to where our front office has to, want Deshaun there and want to make a move on that as well. So, like you said, tons and tons of tweets every day, comments, everything, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere, man. They've been blowing me up, man. Obviously, wanting to try to get him in Denver, but it doesn't matter what I do. I had a couple of conversations with him, just with him, saying that, Denver is a place that he's interested in landing. So, everybody know the type of talent he possesses, what type of guy he is. So, it's just it'll be nice, nice to have him, but We'll see what happens.
So Kareem says he talked to Deshaun, and Deshaun says that he would be interested in Denver. I think in the legal world that's called hearsay.
Yes, that would be exactly hearsay. But anything we've heard from Deshaun would be hearsay at this point. We haven't heard anything at all from what he's had to say. But I do find it interesting that his friends are reaching out, and his friends and guys that he knows are reaching out and recruiting him. I mean, we could call it, we could call it what it is, but they're certainly trying to find, and you get the idea that Deshaun is receptive to that. So the Easterby and company can swim upstream all they want, but it just seems like this is a done deal. And now you've got guys that are close to him out talking. This is almost a worst case scenario. And we heard from Steinberg just a little while ago talking about if he's your client, shut up. Well, he has been shutting up, but don't talk to your friends about it either. And don't let them talk. You're losing all the leverage here.
Well, and that's it. And again, I kind of look at, all right, would you want to live in Denver? Would you want to play for the Broncos? And if you're talking to your friend that lives there, sure, man. Yeah. I mean, I could see, anywhere but Houston is almost what that sounds like. There's probably 3 or 4, maybe 10 other teams that anywhere but there. But if Deshaun wants out, don't you figure he wants to go someplace that he could win? And I don't know if New York really is the answer there, although if he is able to turn things around in New York, my goodness. But if I'm Deshaun, I start looking on the NFC side of things. I mean, the NFC has all the old legendary quarterbacks who won't be around 5 years from now, more than likely. Outside of Dak Prescott. Okay, you can stop laughing now. But I mean, you look at that and you sit there and go, you look at Denver. Where do they play? Who do they play twice a year? The guy.
Well, it is an arms race.
Tom Brady. You know what I mean?
While that looks like the worst possible choice, wouldn't it be just about the best? Can you imagine the ability to be in just a division where you've got to go against Mahomes and a young Herbert, and you add in a Deshaun and continue to see that roll week after week? It would be the likes of which we haven't seen in 20 years with one division stacked that thick a quarterback.
Although, I mean, if Deshaun goes to a team that is able to compete for Super Bowls in the AFC, we get our version or the 2020s version of Manning Brady. And when you count the rings that Brady has and his Super Bowl appearances and the rings that Manning has, Deshaun Watson would be the Manning part of that, because Patrick Mahomes is on the trajectory of, catching him. He's not close to him. He's his second Super Bowl, but he's 25 years old. You look at Brady has 10. So, I mean, there's a long ways to go. But if you're reading the futures are with Patrick Mahomes right now. So anywhere in the AFC, if I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm going there because I can't find the NFC place for me to go.
Go be a big star in New York, man. Own that city. Be the prince of the city in New York. It's what you were born for. I think you're ready for it, and I think there's value in return for Texans fans. Coming in the 6 o'clock, we're doing some grilling and giving away a $50 gift card. It is the high holy day of grilling, the big game on Sunday. What are you going to grill? You got a good recipe? You might win a $50 gift card. Jeremy Urban's going to join us at 6:30, and at 6:15, LaPhonso Ellis NCAA basketball analyst on ESPN on the game day panel. We got Duke, North Carolina this Saturday. We're talking about it. Hang around. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
The biggest game in the NFL is February the 7th. Where are you watching? It's still the big game, and we're still throwing a party. Get to Twin Peaks and celebrate with 29-degree draft beers, the best views of the game, scratch food to feed the whole team. Twin Peaks.
Before we rodeo San Antonio, mosey on over to Dietz Tractor. We're busting out of the chutes early with a stock full of LS tractors. And this is no 8-second ride. Take your time and choose from a field that includes compact and utility tractors at low prices. Excel in your field with LS Tractor, 6-time winner of the EDA Dealer's Choice Award. Backed by a limited 6-year warranty, LS Tractors will give you more standard features and more performance for less money. These are some of the hottest tractors around, and Dietz Tractor wants to sell them to you today at unbelievable prices. Dietz Tractor, where you get more tractor for less.
Take your romance game to a whole new level this Valentine's with Diamonds Direct's most popular offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase happening right now. You know jewelry is the perfect gift to celebrate your love. And with this incredible offer, you can afford to go big. Like a $6,000 diamond tennis bracelet, just $100 a month. Or a $3,000 pair of diamond earrings, just $50 a month. Diamonds Direct has teamed up with the world's top jewelry designers for an expanded selection of Valentine's surprises for any budget. Romantic gifts starting as low as $400. Rings, earrings, pendants, bands, colored gemstones. The guaranteed largest selection, highest quality, and always the best value. Whether you shop in store or online at DiamondsDirect.com. Make this the most memorable Valentine's ever with 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase, including engagement rings. Now through Valentine's Day. Celebrate your love at Diamonds Direct.
At the shops at La Cantera, Wendy's is dropping the hammer with 2 made-to-order breakfast sandwiches for just $4.
So if you've been wronged by pre-made breakfast and their frozen folded eggs and rubbery microwaved bacon,
get to Wendy's and get the breakfast you deserve. Like the honey butter chicken biscuit, classic bacon, egg, and cheese, and the classic sausage, egg, and cheese. Choose any 2 of them for just $4. Justice is served. Only at Wendy's. We got you.
Offer valid for a limited time only. Price and participation may vary at U.S. Wendy's. Single item at regular price.
I like a bed that's really firm.
I need something a little softer than that.
Rest easy. With the Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed, you can both adjust your comfort with your Sleep Number setting.
Can it really help me fall asleep faster?
Yes, by gently warming your feet.
Okay, but can it help keep us asleep?
It senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you effortlessly comfortable. Sleep Number, proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. And now, during the Ultimate Sleep Number event, save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 Limited Edition Smart Bed, plus special financing on all smart beds, only for a limited time. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
This is Roger Staubach, San Antonio's sports leader, 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Where the pros play. KCDC San Antonio. Dietz Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's big game coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. On the go at ESPNSA.com. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. Your Dietz Tractor big game coverage continues this hour. It's always brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. We're doing some grilling right now. We're going to talk with LaPhonso Ellis right after, and Jerheme Urban's going to join us, head football coach at Trinity. But, as we get close, Jason, to the day that we all celebrate all things American. I mean, you can Americanate your chicken, but you got to go out and stand over a grill. Grilling with the Blitz this week. We're going to kind of change things up because Jason and I have talked all week long about what we're going to be grilling. And this year, I think it's taking on a kind of a different thing because so many people are going to be home. So many people are going to be home and are accustomed to going to parties. So if you're not accustomed to grilling, I want you to listen. And if you are accustomed or are planning your menu, and you have a pretty good recipe you want to share, it might earn you $50 in meat money from Tri-County Meat Market.
Meat money, huh? All right, so if you've got something, you can either dial us up now on the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines at 210-656-ESPN. 656-3776. You can also shoot us some tweets at Rob Thompson ESPN. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. Now, I've already planned out my menu for Sunday, and clearly I'm going to have way too much food, and I'm good with that. Now, I've been saying for about 2 weeks, it's Tampa Bay and it's Kansas City. So I'm going to do some ribs, and I'm going to do those shrimp that we did with the Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds as the crust, and some great kielbasa sausage. I want to thank my friends at Kielbasa who sent me a big game box today to get everything ready to go. So I got a lot of sausage on the grill. Going to do the ribs, and I'm going to do the shrimp. And also because it's a day of grazing, so you got to have a lot of food throughout the day. I found this recipe on the Meat Church website called Pig Shots. And basically you take some sausage and wrap it in some good thick cut bacon. So you get that kielbasa bacon in there, and there's a mixture that you can put in there, and they're called Pig Shots. So I'm going to do those as well. It's going to be a fun day.
Well, you got to talk about the mixture. I mean, you got to tell them what goes in. Basically, you're taking a piece of a kielbasa or sausage. You're wrapping the bacon around to make a cup. You're using a toothpick to hold the cup together. And then you're filling this little cup full of cream cheese, cheddar cheese, and all kinds of goodness. And then you're putting it in your grill or your oven or your smoker to finish off at about 400 degrees for a little while. Then you come out and you got a kind of all-encompassing, porky, cheesy, delicious bite called a pig shot. Jason talked about it. He sent me the recipe. I'm going to do that too. I'm also going to do some of the good Tri-County wings that have already been pre-seasoned and soaked up, and they're on special right now. They're all marinated and ready. I'm going to do some of those wings, and I'm also going to do some of the Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds and some of the deep fried chicken, the skinny dipping chicken. I'm going to roll those around. What are you guys going to do? 656-3776, 656-ESPN. We'll make it worth your while. You can get on the phone. You can jump on the Twitters, but make sure we know your recipe and what you're cooking, and you could win a $50 gift card tonight to head over to Tri-County and fill up your cupboard even more.
Well, and you think about everything that they're going to have on special this weekend at Tri-County. It's there. Now, on Saturday at Tri-County, my friend Alonzo, who runs a company called Gulf Coast Smoke, he's got a great rub that I like. I use this a lot on my wings and on pork chops and stuff. He's going to be at Tri-County sampling food on Saturday. So you go over there to buy some meat, but you're also going to get some meat while you're there. Not sure what he's going to be grilling up, but I know it's going to be fantastic. But they've got so many things on special. And, the other part of it, I mean, I know this is a day where people talk about their menus, but sometimes you can just go over to Tri-County and look around and decide what you want to do. A friend of mine, him, John Robbins, he did a picanha last night, and he had not heard of a picanha, or not tried a picanha until he heard us talking about it during this segment a couple weeks ago, and he finally bit the bullet and decided he was going to try one. The photos that man sent me, whoo, that looked good.
That is the takeaway. When you talk with a butcher, I would have never done a picanha. I'd seen them. You go to those Brazilian and Argentinian steakhouses, and it's a cut of meat that I never even thought to look for, nor did I think I would even find. Not only did Tri-County have it, but they told me how to cook it above and beyond that. And there's several different ways to go. And that's one of the great things about walking into a meat market, a meat purveyor that understands what they're doing, how to cook it, and will tell you how and give you those kind of pointers. The idea of not knowing what you're going to cook, that's a dangerous and fun thing to do if you walk in on a Saturday afternoon kind of hungry, because you end up walking out with a whole bunch of good looking meat. Because one side of the meat market, I'm talking about both locations, out on Ralph Fair and over on Huebner, is all the kind of your hors d'oeuvre side, where they've got the toothpicks and the stuffed different poppers and all the things that go along ahead of time, and then you get into the full-on meat. And they've got lots of prepared foods as well, prepared meats and other things coming from around South Texas and into Louisiana. So lots of good things to be had if you don't know what your menu is going to be. But if you do know what it's going to be this weekend, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. You can pop on the Twitters at Rob Thompson ESPN, at Jason Minix. Send us a picture, a photo, and a recipe of what you're doing. We might steal it from you, but you might very well get a $50 gift card to head over to Tri-County and use it. And like I said, get some meat money and go and jump on that grill as we offer it every week. What are you cooking? Grilling with the Blitz is brought to you by Tri-County Meat Market. Head over to either the Huebner locale or out on Ralph Fair Road. Do remember this, that Sunday at 3 o'clock, their work is done. They're going to go ahead and leave. They will have taken care of a whole bunch of cows and a whole bunch of pigs over the previous week, as we all are going to be grilling. So get over there early, because they are going to shut down and celebrate with the rest of us.
Unless you're doing burgers or wings, You better be at Tri-County well before 3 o'clock on Sunday. Unless, like I said, unless you're doing some burgers or some wings. Maybe a big old tomahawk. You got, a good hour and a half to smoke that thing. But most of you better have a pretty good idea by Sunday morning what you're going to have on your grill for Sunday afternoon.
It puts me in the mind of a Robert Earl Keen song about Christmas, from a little bit of Merry Christmas and a list as they head over. You never know when you get over to a party what you might have to go over and pick up at the Tri-County or the Quick Pack store. So they will be closing at 3. So get there early enough to make sure you can celebrate the right way. The high holy day of football, Super Bowl weekend, the big game cannot be had unless you're grilling some meat or having something fine to eat.
As we talk about them closing Sunday at 3, let's also keep in mind on Monday, they're not opening until noon on Monday. So if you're thinking about, like Monday fajita night, you want to get over there at 10 to get your, they're going to open up at noon on Monday because they need to recover just like everybody else.
You ever heard of a one-ticket candidate, a one-issue candidate? I'm going to run for office solely on the day after the Super Bowl. Should be a national holiday. I think if somebody just decided, just elect me, I won't accept any money. I will work to enact that single bill into law, and then I'll quit. But if you'll send me up there, that'll be my sole and only effort to get Monday to be a holiday.
Got my vote.
The problem is there's a holiday next week. It's surrounded by vague holidays. We just need to move the calendar just a little bit. I don't think anybody would be upset. But here we sit. We'll all go back to work on Monday, but you won't, as you will be sitting on the beach. Hey, that's next week.
No, that's not true. The Monday after the Super Bowl, I'll be sitting here. It's the following Monday.
It's the next week.
That vague president holiday, I'll be on a beach somewhere.
The one that should be this week. That's what we should have. Yeah, let's talk some basketball. While the football season winds down, it is 38 days as we sit from Selection Sunday. It's almost here. You better start boning up because the tournament's around the corner. Huge news today. San Antonio will host the entirety of the ladies basketball tournament. Big deal. They'll be bubbled up here in South Texas. Let's talk basketball with one of the greats, LaPhonso Ellis. He of Game Day will be broadcasting all day, getting ready for UNC Duke, and we will have him next here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Jason Minix here for New Brakes, NUBrakes.com. They're a mobile brake shop that has made getting your brakes repaired easy, convenient, and affordable because they will come to you. They do have Saturday and Sunday appointments, so if you're watching the game or you're at work, you got that Zoom call, whatever the case is, you can get your brakes done while you're continuing to do whatever you do. It's convenient. You don't have to go to a shop, wait several hours, or leave your car overnight and then go back and get it. And they only fix brakes. And they use premium brake parts, back all repairs with a 24-month, 24,000-mile warranty. Go read all their great 5-star reviews. If your brakes are bad or you think they're going bad, go to NUBrakes.com right now. Schedule your repair. Save 10% when you mention my name or ESPN San Antonio at NUBrakes.com. That's NUBrakes.com.
Show us your meat. On the grill. Take a picture and upload it to ESPNSA.com, and you could win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market if you do. Grilling with the Blitz every Thursday.
If you're a bacon lover, I've got great news for you. This is Michael Kilbasa with Kilbasa Smoked Meats. Our authentic dry-cured bacon is now available at grocery stores near you. We make it the old-fashioned way with the finest pork bellies in our legendary spice blend. We don't pump it full of water or chemicals like other brands. All you get is thick, savory slices of delicious bacon. I hope you'll give it a try, and if it's not the best bacon you've ever eaten, I'll give you your money back. Kilbasa Smoked Meats, slow-crafted in Texas since 1949.
Beachcombing, baking cookies, learning French. Aren't these what you'd rather be doing than thinking about your Medicare prescriptions? Well, Walgreens is here to help you get back to it with convenient refill and pickup options, expert pharmacists to answer all your questions, and Medicare copays as low as $0. Zero. Which is also the number of cares in the world you'll have as you stroll the beach, eating cookies and speaking French. Oh la la. Walgreens.
$0 copays apply to Tier 1 generic drugs and select plans where Walgreens is a preferred pharmacy.
I like a bed that's really firm.
I need something a little softer than that.
Rest easy. With the Sleep Number 360 smart bed, you can both adjust your comfort with your Sleep Number setting.
Can it really help me fall asleep faster?
Yes, by gently warming your feet.
Okay, but can it help keep us asleep?
It senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you effortlessly comfortable. Sleep Number, proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. And now, during the Ultimate Sleep Number event, save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, plus special financing on all smart beds, only for a limited time. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Dietz Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's Big Game coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. We are joined by LaPhonso Ellis. Yeah, you know him on the game days on Saturday afternoon. You might remember him from the Denver Nuggets, but we got him here right now as we're looking toward college basketball. The sprint is up. We are 38 days by my count to Selection Sunday on March the 14th. We have Duke, North Carolina on Saturday at 5 o'clock. But they're not even ranked. LaPhonso, what is going on in college basketball?
Yeah, a lot of the kids are from both teams are playing hard, but the reality is neither of those teams neither of those teams have what they've traditionally had at the point guard position. Each of those teams have had point guards who are terrific two-way players who could push the basketball up the floor very quickly, get it over the floor in 4 or 5 seconds, look for the early opportunities to be able to score or able to get their offense started. And neither of those teams have that this year, and that's why they've both been struggling so this early part of the season. And, it's so weird to look and see that North Carolina is not what they've traditionally been. Duke, Kentucky, Kansas obviously struggling. And so but that creates room for the new bloods, teams like Florida State and Gonzaga and those programs that are on the climb. So Gonzaga's been there for a while. And, of course, Florida State has been really good over the last 4 or 5 years. And so for we guys and gals who love college basketball, it is nice to see some fresh faces out there that have a chance to win the national championship as well.
Now, LaPhonso, you did not mention Baylor. You did not mention Texas. For the first time in, 100 years, we had a top 10 matchup the other night. And I'm looking at Baylor and Gonzaga saying, who's better than those two? The bracket will work out to where they will meet in the national championship game, won't they?
I sure hope so, because I've been high on Baylor for the last 2 years. I had them as my national champion last year and have them as my preseason national champion this year. I mean, you're talking about a Baylor team that we knew that they would have a great guard trio with Jared Butler, Davion Mitchell, and Maceo Teague. What we didn't anticipate is how good Adam Flagler would be. And you're talking about a team that's shooting 40+% from the three-point line as a whole. And last year, if there was any chink in the armor, it seemed at times, both in the first and second half, that they had a very difficult time. They would go for long spells, not scoring the basketball. But with the improvement of Davion Mitchell from the three-point line, I mean, that makes them very dangerous. Kid shoots like 49% from three. And so now it puts so much pressure on your defense, and all three of those guys can put it on the floor when Flagler's in. All four of those guys can put it on the floor, get in the middle of the lane and score. So now you're stuck. You're in a bit of a conundrum. Do you ease over to give some help to keep those guys from getting point-blank range layups? If you do that, now they're kicking that basketball out to other guys who are shooting 38% from three at least, and they're knocking down threes on you. And Jared Butler is one of the greatest closers in all of college basketball. So they tend to kind of tease you there for about 30 minutes of the game, and then all of a sudden they just pull away. And a lot of that has to do with Davion Mitchell's improvement from the three-point line and Jared Butler's ability to just be an absolute closer.
Mark Vital and that remarkable compact body and the defense he plays. That's a fun team to watch that has a type of game that translates a lot of different ways. LaPhonso Ellis joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. Game day host. He'll be working all day Saturday getting ready for Duke, North Carolina at 5 o'clock. We talked about the Blue Bloods not really playing a huge role, though you do expect to see them around when it comes to the tournament. Do you think the reason behind this is these guys, these teams primarily, maybe not so much in Kansas, but the others, and I'll throw Michigan State into this too, are so reliant on young players that there's not a whole lot of continuity with these rosters and teams, and given the environment that all these teams have had to go through, that teams with a little bit more of I hate to say senior leadership, maybe it's junior leadership anymore, but team with a little bit more leadership and older guys on the roster have had a little bit better time so far this season?
Well, Michigan State's a little bit different because they fit what we talked about earlier with Duke and North Carolina. Their issue is that they don't have a point guard. So if they they don't need a Cassius Winston type point guard necessarily, but they do need a point guard who can knock down threes, who can get in the lane and make plays, and they just don't have that. And that's why their offense has been so inconsistent. And we think about Kentucky, think about this. Devin Askew, who really should be a senior in high school right now, is being asked to play the point guard position in a very tough and competitive SEC without having other veteran players around him to help ease that process for him. So he's not only being relied on to distribute the basketball, they need him to score also. And that's a lot to ask for a kid who should be a high school senior and who doesn't have that burst and explosiveness either vertically or laterally or horizontally out there on the floor. And so that's why those teams are struggling. Michigan State's just a little bit different in that they have veteran players who can score the basketball like Aaron Henry, but they do not have a point guard who can steady the ship on both ends of the floor as they've had the luxury of having the last 4 years with Cassius Winston.
LaPhonso Ellis with us here on ESPN San Antonio. I want to ask you just kind of a broad basketball question when it comes to the state of Texas, which is known as a football state. But when you look at the college programs in the state right now, is it fair to say from your national perspective there with ESPN that Texas is now a basketball state?
Hey, now again, I'm a little partial to Baylor and Texas, of course, and Texas Tech just because I love seeing new people have an opportunity to legitimately compete for a national championship. But I say right now, there's no question about it. Just those three teams alone and what they're doing. And Buzz Williams in the next 2 years, he'll get Texas A&M turned around. And now you have four legit teams in the state of Texas, along with Houston. Five teams that have a legitimate chance to win a national championship. Right now, you have three.
Well, I'll tell you, when you're dealing with the likes of the coaches, like Scott Drew and Kelvin Sampson and Beard and the likes of these types and Shaka, the coaches come, talent will follow. And I think this is the best group of coaches that we've ever seen in the state of Texas, and their ability to keep some of this talent at home will be key to how long they get to stay coaching at their relative locations. LaPhonso Ellis joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. Any idea who the player of the year is this year?
There's no doubt about it. It's Luka Garza. And I felt Luka Garza should have been the player of the year last year, but understood why Obi Toppin, well-deserved for him because just how good Dayton was. And they were poised to get to a Final Four last year as well. But there's no question. Luka Garza is the Rolls Royce right now in college basketball, averaging about 20, leading the country in scoring at 6'11". Tenacious, relentless rebounder, can score with his back to the basket, shoots about 46% from three, and he's head and shoulders above everyone else. The only other guy that I can think of that would be able to push him a little bit is Corey Kispert from Gonzaga. Corey Kispert putting together a pretty good year himself, averaging over 20 points a game, shooting nearly 50% from the three-point line. So it's Luka Garza, one, and I would say Corey Kispert a close second.
both guys that have been here before. No freshman mentioned. He is LaPhonso Ellis right here on ESPN San Antonio. Thanks for bringing the knowledge, man. We're excited. Duke, North Carolina. Throw out them records. It's still going to be a great game. 5 o'clock.
Yes, it will.
Catch them on game day on Saturday. LaPhonso, stay safe. We look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Blessings to you guys.
LaPhonso Ellis will be going all day Saturday. The game day will be going North Carolina, Duke, and all that goes along with it. Yeah, they both got not in the top 25 and losing records and all that goes along with it. But it's Roy Williams and Coach K and the legend and the blood and all that goes along with it. Luka Garza is LaPhonso Ellis's early player of the year, and I think he's probably right as far as the guy that's been around for a bit but earned it. But it's a strange year because there really isn't a star. Your two top teams are led by a couple of really good, players, but nobody that stands out. He talked about Corey Kispert with Gonzaga and Drew Timme, a Texas product up there. Looks like has had a good, could be in the conversation as well. But Luka is the kind of guy that's going to have a good college career and be a footnote. You wonder why he didn't bring up any of the freshmen, Cade Cunningham up at OSU or Okogie or those guys. We'll see what happens. Jeremy Urban's going to join us. And of course, it's always great to talk to Coach Urban, the head football coach at Trinity, right around the Super Bowl times. He's been there a couple times, been part of the Super Bowl week. But, you talk to a coach in January, very rarely are they getting ready for the season. He is. There's a 4-game season coming up for Trinity, and we're going to talk about it. And the rest of the football world coming up next. Jeremy Urban will be right around the corner here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Jason Minix here for BSG, the best in home security and smart home technology. BSG is a great local company built on trust, quality, and safety. BSG is the best when it comes to home security, camera systems, Wi-Fi systems, home theater, audio and video systems, and so much more. In fact, the security system in my house is from BSG, along with my home theater system. BSG did my surround sound speakers, the outdoor speakers, and other smart home technology like the thermostat, outdoor lights, even my garage door opener, and it all works on one app, easy to use. BSG is all about customer service. Service you can't get at a big box store. Every room and every house is different. BSG will design systems that fit your home, and they only sell high-quality items. When investing in your home, you want a company you can trust, a company that has a great reputation. BSG has been in business in San Antonio over 20 years. Go read all their great reviews. They are trusted by over 100 new home builders. BSG is the best in the industry. Call them 210-877-1222. 877-1222, or go to the website bsgtexas.com/radio.
We get you ready for every single silver and black game on Game Night San Antonio. Brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom.
This is DeJounte Murray.
Get the latest on the silver and black before every game.
It's Game Night San Antonio.
1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Buying some pretzel sticks?
Excuse me?
This is your wake-up call from TracFone Wireless.
Okay.
What if you didn't eat all those pretzel sticks by the end of the month, so this store took them back?
Good luck.
That's how some wireless companies are with your data, but TracFone Wireless gives you unlimited carryover data with active service, so you keep what you pay for. Plans start at $20 a month.
Wow, that's cool.
Sir, are you bothering the customers?
Yeah, hang on.
This is your wake-up call, people. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control.
Available at major retailers. See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facility safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Today on Hey Culligan, the best things in life are free. Water tests. Let's go to Candace.
Hey Culligan, how do I learn more about my water?
Candace, let me just test the waters here.
Okay.
Literally test your water.
Oh.
For free.
Free?
Free, Candace. In-home water tests for free. So you know more about your water and how to make it better with Culligan water. And Candace.
Yeah?
We're already on the way.
Oh, good.
Let us help you out. The free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the name your price tool from Progressive.
Oh, man. That's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry. I'm going to need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus. The Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool. Only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Before we rodeo San Antonio, mosey on over to Dietz Tractor. We're busting out of the chutes early with a stock full of LS tractors. And this is no 8-second ride. Take your time and choose from a field that includes compact and utility tractors at low prices. Excel in your field with LS Tractor, 6-time winner of the EDA Dealer's Choice Award. Backed by a limited 6-year warranty, LS Tractors will give you more standard features and more performance for less money. These are some of the hottest tractors around, and Dietz Tractor wants to sell them to you today at unbelievable prices. Dietz Tractor, where you get more tractor for less.
Time is running out on your chance to enter the Rocket Mortgage Super Bowl Squares sweepstakes. It's the largest official game of Super Bowl Squares ever, with millions of dollars in prizes, and best of all, it's free to enter. Someone wins $50,000 every score change during Super Bowl 55. Touchdowns, field goals, safeties, extra points, even a pick six is a winner. Each time we pick a lucky winner from the square, they win 50 G's. Plus, 2 grand prize winners will win $500,000 they could use toward their dream home. Don't miss your chance to win. See rules and enter for free right now at RocketMortgageSquares.com. Then tune in on February 7th to see if you bring home some dough. Rocket Mortgage, official mortgage sponsor of Super Bowl 55.
No purchase necessary. Legal residents of the 50 U.S. and D.C. of age of majority. Ends 2/4/2021, 11:59 p.m. Eastern. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. The NFL entities as defined in the official rules have not offered to sponsor this promotion in any way.
Dietz Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's Big Game coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds.
It is the Blitz here on ESPN San Antonio. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. Well, it's hard to believe that we're getting ready for another football season, but in fact we are. Jerheme Urban, head football coach of your Trinity Tigers, joins us here on the Blitz in preparation for game number 1 Saturday. Austin College on the docket. Jerheme, Coach Urban, welcome aboard, Coach. How's your day going?
Hey, going well, man. Getting ready for a spring football season.
Well, and again, you think about the spring football season, the fact that you're kind of the preview to the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday. I mean, do you ever think your Trinity Tigers would be playing the day before the Super Bowl?
No, I didn't. It's pretty wild, but we had a chance to learn from a lot of great programs, including the high schools here in town, about how to handle a COVID season, and we're looking forward to our opportunity.
You know, Coach Urban, that's a very valuable point that you offered there, that you have had the opportunity to sit back and see exactly what has worked and what hasn't worked. I'm curious, as you get ready for your game on Saturday, do you have a barber on premises?
You know, I am the in-house barber. No, I'm just kidding.
We've seen your haircut.
Exactly.
Yeah, one style. I'm not going to go there.
Very easy, right? Very easy. Model of efficiency. But no, we had a great fall, and we had a chance to really kind of start implementing our practice plans and letting the guys understand. We have smart kids, and they're great kids. They understand that certain things are required of them to be able to play right now, and the institution has supported us, and we're feeling really good with our testing policies and programs. So, with all that being said, we are absolutely ready to kick off and actually play football.
You know, it's got to be a strange feeling, although, I think about all your years as a player, both at the college level there at Trinity and even in the NFL. I mean, you played in 2 Super Bowls. You know what it's like to play football in January. Have those experiences kind of helped you in trying to prepare your team for playing when you normally aren't?
I think a little bit, yeah. It is definitely unique to be playing at this point in time. It's not the right calendar. It's not the right time just from a development standpoint as you get ready for August. So there are those unique challenges. And it is fun to overlay it with the Super Bowl and the playoffs. And it has made this preseason camp more enjoyable to do it in a special time of football during the year.
Coach Jerheme Urban joining us here on the Blitz, the pride of Stroman High. As you plan for a 4-week schedule, does it matter whether it's 4 or 10? Or, I mean, what do you do differently if it's just an abbreviated schedule like this? Or do you do anything different?
No, the biggest difference is like I mentioned a while ago, we're playing to win. It's a 4-game West Division bracket with a 5th game that's a conference, kind of interconference play for the championship. So number 1 from the West will play number 1 from the East, and so forth for our full conference seeding. So it's a 5-game season, and we're having to do that because we're going to win, and that's the number 1 goal while still developing for the fall. And the biggest thing is the weight room and making sure that we take care of guys on the field so that they are fully prepared to be healthy while they play and to play at a high level, while not beating them up to the point where, the wear and tear from an actual season this spring would have a negative impact on them in the fall. So we have great sports medicine department, unbelievable sport performance coach working with football and Bert Stewart. I like our plan, but again, we still have 5 actual games to play, and there will be a toll from that.
Well, there will be, and it's interesting because I'm looking at timing, and I know you guys from a conference level decided you're going to start your season first week in February. I look across the way Incarnate Word, I think they get going on the 20th, and how some other springs are actually being a little bit more into the spring. I mean, we call it near spring, but it's winter football. I remember my days in the Alliance, that was spring football. We traveled to some places that were just bitterly cold. It was still winter in a lot of those places. Is the timing for you guys starting early February as opposed to late February or March so that you can have a more traditional off season to prepare for the fall?
It is. And we had not everybody in the conference. There were some who wanted to play later and have, a little bit of a warmer weather and get more students back on campus and let them train more right now. We were fortunate that we were able to have our guys on campus all fall. We didn't have any setbacks. So we had a tremendous fall of development. So we're a little bit ahead of the game compared to some others, but yeah, we wanted to get it in. We want them to play. But then we really were mindful of the back end of things. I know that y'all know Marcus Coleman, and Marcus is my defensive backs coach, and he and I have had some great conversations about the length of an NFL season and just, how many games are playing in a 52-week calendar. And we're going to be looking at a lot of games if we're able to have a very successful fall like we're planning in terms of what 2021 will look like. So we really want to balance it.
So Jerheme Urban joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. The season kicks off on Saturday, taking on one of those old foes that we see on the regular. Austin College will be going at 12 o'clock kickoff. With this schedule, and then are you going to play the season, the 4-5, and head toward whatever, the title that you're going to win? Will there be a spring football season, in May? Will you get back together in May? Yeah, so like spring practice, a second spring practice, or will everything be done until the fall?
No, so this year the NC2A gave us 114 days with our guys. And those 114 days had to count our season. And, they obviously capped the games at 5 if we wanted to make it a redshirt year. So that led to the 5-game schedule. But between the fall practices and now, I believe we'll end up having 8 days available later on. And what we're going to do there is just take the skill players and go out and have, we might not even use all 8, but at least 6, and they'll be passing camp days. Instead of them doing some of their, just development running, they'll get out of the weight room and we'll hit the field for about an hour and do 7-on-7 and some technique work. But we really want those big guys to fully recover. Between the fall and what we're getting right now, we will have a lot of practice in our guys, and we are young in some areas right now. Trinity's obviously an institution that carries a lot of weight with the degree, and we had a good number of our seniors who unfortunately had to retire early. They had really highly esteemed, well-paid internship contracts that they were already bound to this spring, so they retired last fall, and because they wouldn't be able to play. So, all these first years and sophomores got a lot of work in the fall. They're getting a ton right now. And again, just with their age and development, we really want to be mindful of it. So no more banging around with the big guys until August.
And Jerheme, I just out of curiosity, the 114 days you get with your players for games and practices, and obviously with the COVID year, they made the exception there. What do you get? How many days do you normally get? How much more did you get with 114? What's the normal number?
We ended up getting right around 10 extra days. We're usually a week count, where you have your season. We get 23 days in the fall for preseason camp. So if you want to count those, essentially 3.5 weeks, and then our 11-week season. The playoffs obviously don't count in that total. And then in the spring, we normally get 16 practices that we can spread over 5 weeks. No more than 4 in a week. I mean, all those little details, but we are getting about 10. Yeah, rules. Who follows those? No, rules. This is a great year, and that's we are definitely trying to take the glass half full approach with this, and it is not the year that anyone signed up for when they thought that this would be their college football experience for 2020, 2021. But there are some silver linings, and we get extra time with the guys because of the NCAA allowances, and we're just determined to make the best out of it.
Coach, are you guys the only ones on campus? Are there other students on the Trinity campus now?
No, in the fall, we were able to bring our students back. We are a residential requirement for 3 years, but they waived that. And in the fall, it was all of our first-year students. We wanted them to have as much of a first-year experience as possible. Athletes, research students, and then some students who really needed to be at school to have some, just better resources compared to maybe what they have at home to get their studies done. And then this spring, we've actually been able to increase our enrollment on campus. And, there were some students who really had to, they sacrificed last fall and stayed home so that we could have all single occupancy in the dorms. And this fall, we've been able to, especially with the athletes, because we're in a lot of ways considered a family unit, and, they spend so much time together. A lot of our athletes signed up for roommates, and that allowed other students to be able to come back on campus. So I know that my guys are really excited about Monday getting here, just coming out of the holiday break with the numbers in San Antonio. The first 2 weeks of school were all virtual in terms of the academic side of things, and the exceptions being, some research students, and then athletics being able to be on campus. And, we wanted to be very good about that because we knew it was a privilege, but we are opening back up to more normal activities, hybrid classes, and libraries open and everything on Monday. So they're fired up about that.
Trinity football coach Jerheme Urban with us here on ESPN San Antonio. Obviously, your season starts Saturday. You finally get a game after a lot of practice days. But you also just had a signing day. You had to do all the recruiting in there as well. You sound tired, my friend. I've known you a long time, so I say that respectfully. But I mean, not only are you getting ready for your first game, but man, you just had signing day too, and a successful one at that.
We are very, very excited. Again, my staff does an unbelievable job identifying our kind of guys out there. We're fired up. We do get to fly around the country and play in a national conference, and that is a big recruiting tool, and it's really continues to open up our reach into the Southeast. So, we're bringing in some really exciting Southeast speed too from some of those states that you see running around the SEC, and they're going to blend well with our local guys from Texas. So we're fired up about the class. And yes, you're right. I am tired.
Well, not only you better rest up, man. With February is going to be a bit busier than you're accustomed to, Coach. It's about to pick up just a little bit.
We're going through some leadership change at school, and I'm honored, but it's an extra thing on the plate to be able to serve on a university search committee for a VP place going into next fall. So there have not been a lot of hours free in the Urban House, but that comes with the territory. And but there will be plenty of energy come Saturday when Austin College rolls in. I promise you that.
Jerheme Urban, head coach of the Trinity Tigers, starting their spring season coming up on Saturday, taking on Austin College. Coach Urban, congratulations on all that you've done and what you've gone through. You get some payment coming back. What's up?
And real quick, and I should know this. Fans allowed at the game on Saturday?
Not this Saturday. We are hoping to reevaluate again with that's a combination of Trinity not opening up the university until Monday, but then also the conference has decided as a conference to limit that early on with a reevaluation here, I think, next week. So we're going to, Lord willing, we can put some people in. We got a brand new stadium, and y'all need to come check it out. And we have a lot of fans and parents who want to come check it out as well. So we need that open at some point.
All right,
let's
who you got
do it
on Sunday in the Super Bowl? You've played in 2 of these things.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for Mr. Brady and what he's done, but I think it's going to be a tall task to match some of the explosiveness on the other side. But they obviously had the game earlier in the year that Tampa Bay played much better in the second half than the first quarter, and they learned from it. But I'm going to have to pick Kansas City, and I'll go 10 points. So.
In full disclosure, you did spend some time in a Kansas City jersey.
I did. You are correct. And
Not that means anything at all toward them.
I lost the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay, so I got a little extra, bitterness there too. So
absolutely true. I remember that. That was a good one. Well, Coach,
it'll be a great game.
Certainly
for him.
Yeah. Coach, it's certainly been a long and busy fall that's just picking up again in the spring. Best of luck this weekend. Stay safe and look forward to talking to you soon.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Jason.
Coach Jerheme Urban joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. And as we were talking, I was looking through his roster. And he's talking about recruiting other places because he does, he's right. They do play a national schedule. They do get on the road and get to go see and play against other schools far from here. But his roster is made up of lots of Texas kids, lots and lots of good Texas football players staying home and playing at a great university like Trinity. Just another sign that if you recruit local, it benefits in so many ways, and you're certainly going to win.
Well, absolutely. And I know for the San Antonio Sports All-Star game this past Saturday, he had a player in that game. And in fact, every local university football team, Incarnate Word, UTSA, Trinity, had local talent in there. But yeah, he does a good job, and that staff does a good job of recruiting San Antonio, Texas. But you can go get some national guys as well. You think about Saturday, man, there's football in San Antonio with Trinity, and that it's a sprint, man. That 5 games, it's going to be a lot of fun.
4 games starting on the 6th, Saturday noon. Trinity taking on Austin College. Coming back, let's look at the Spurs as they went. They won a game. It wasn't pretty, but they got it done. The Rockets on the docket for Saturday afternoon. We'll look forward to what they have to do to continue and grow a winning streak, and also look at the big game. Travis Kelce or Gronk? In their prime, who would you have taken? We'll talk about that too. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
The ESPN San Antonio 10K Payday. This hour's winning word is
beverage.
Enter that word now at ESPNSA.com. Another reason it pays to listen to ESPN San Antonio all day, every day.
Great cash, homie.
A great meal starts with great meat. Rob and Jason here for Tri-County Meat Market, the best meat market in San Antonio. It's locally owned and full service. Tri-County has carefully selected certified prime Angus beef cuts, Wagyu, and upper choice.
Tri-County has everything you need to up your grilling game, from beef, chicken, pork, fajitas, poppers, and more. Stock up on their Pick 5 for $25. Tri-County Meat Market, 2 locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Huebner Road, and online at tricountymeat.com.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then go to Babbel.com and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then, sentences gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. Babbel is created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel. Language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com, Babbel.com.
Take your romance game to a whole new level this Valentine's with Diamonds Direct's most popular offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase happening right now. You know jewelry is the perfect gift to celebrate your love. And with this incredible offer, you can afford to go big. Like a $6,000 diamond tennis bracelet, just $100 a month. Or a $3,000 pair of diamond earrings, just $50 a month. Diamonds Direct has teamed up with the world's top jewelry designers for an expanded selection of Valentine's surprises for any budget. Romantic gifts starting as low as $400. Rings, earrings, pendants, bands, colored gemstones. The guaranteed largest selection, highest quality, and always the best value. Whether you shop in store or online at DiamondsDirect.com. Make this the most memorable Valentine's ever with 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase, including engagement rings. Now through Valentine's Day. Celebrate your love at Diamonds Direct.
At the shops at La Cantera.
The Kalpas Law Group is here for you. Have you been injured in an automobile accident? Your hopes, dreams, and plans all turned upside down? If you've been injured in a serious accident and you need help, contact the Kalpas Law Group immediately at kalfaslaw.com. That's CALFAS law.com. Answers, results, success. Visit kalfaslaw.com today for a free consultation. That's CALFAS law.com.
Injuries happen. If you twist, pull, pump, or snap something, you need to know about the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. From a minor sprain to a compound fracture, TSAOG has got you covered. Not all injuries require surgery. Dr. David Espinosa treats all non-operative orthopedic injuries and concussion baseline testing. Telemedicine services are available through Ortho Connect. If you're hurting, go to the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Online, TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
Dietz Tractors presents ESPN San Antonio's Big Game coverage. Brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds and Southern Recipe Small Bags Pork Rind.
You're on ESPN San Antonio. Your Dietz Tractor Big Game coverage continues. Tomorrow, we're awfully excited. We'll welcome onto the show Emmett Smith, among others, as our Big Game coverage will wind up after a full and complete week of everything but the actual Tampa Super Bowl experience. If you've missed any of the interviews we've had, we're awfully proud of all that we've done. Go to ESPNSA.com. You can go to the audio vault brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, and you can catch up on all things Big Game and otherwise that we've covered all week long, and a lot more to bring you. Tomorrow we'll be full of guests preparing for the game. This is some breaking news, Jason. I'm not sure how important it is, but it is worthy of discussion. Jeff Garcia tweets out, and I found this on News 4 San Antonio as I clicked the link. The report is CVC in talks to buy minority stake in the Spurs. This is a Jeff Garcia tweet. CVC Capital Partners, they're out of their international type firm, slated to buy 15% of the Spurs. The report is they've been valued at $1.3 billion. You can do the math. It's a pretty significant stake to be held by one group, though it appears Holt will maintain control. I wonder who's selling.
Well, remember there was a story not long ago about a couple of different people that were looking at selling, and again, small percentages, because there's a lot of owners, but the Holts have the majority, and according to the Financial Times, CVC Capital Partners, and again, that means you get a bunch of rich dudes that have formed a partnership, right? That you look at the venture groups like that, and about 15%. Maybe that's just an infusion of cash. I don't think that should make anybody nervous about, are they going to leave? Could this be the first step in the Spurs leaving town? It's not enough of a percentage for them to do that.
It is, but it's a significant amount, and looking at nearly $200 million buy-in on this thing. So yeah, it will be a significant change, but yeah, a little bit of cash influx. Everybody, maybe they've earned a little bit of money. But as we were going to break, we're talking the Spurs. They lose to they beat the Timberwolves. It felt like a loss. Come from 16 down. DeMar DeRozan kind of carries them through to the end. The idea of the Spurs kind of turning around and getting things right, it didn't really happen. They did go in minus two of their big-time vets, LaMarcus Aldridge and Rudy Gay, were missed, though Jakob Poeltl and Trey Lyles filled in adequately, if not perfectly. We finally got a lot of offense and rim protection from from Jakob Poeltl in necessary times. But more than anything else, Jason, Trey Lyles impressed me because not only did he hit a three and take shots from the edge that he's supposed to now at that position, but he's the one guy that the Spurs have at that size that is capable of putting the ball on the ground and driving it to the rim when the lane is available. And we saw him do that last night. And while that one move didn't mean that much, I think in the grand scheme, they've been working on him being able to do that because that adds one more tool to Popovich as they try to find some continuity with the big.
And Yak wasn't bad last night, but overall, it was an ugly basketball game. It was an ugly basketball game. I believe that is the first game they have won this year when LaMarcus Aldridge did not play. But it was also one of those games they had no business winning. It was ugly. An incredible fourth quarter that was as good Spurs as bad Minnesota. And they were able to escape with a win against a team they should have blown the doors off. That was one of those. It was ugly, but at the end of the day, you got the W and you move on.
Let me tell you, it was ugly in a lot of ways, and ugliest most, the ugliest prize goes to Lonnie Walker. I'm trying to figure out, is he pressing? Does he know that minutes are being kind of siphoned away from him as Derek White is returned? He doesn't fit with the first unit. He's not playing well with the second unit. He's 1 for 10 from the field, and a couple of them were legitimate shots. Others felt a little rushed, and he still can't finish through contact. It's looking rough for him right as Derek White returns. It looks like it's going to be an easy decision for Pop as to who moves to that second unit.
0 minutes in the fourth quarter last night for Lonnie Walker. I don't want to say that he got benched in the fourth quarter, but 0 minutes in the fourth quarter in a bad basketball game. And, there are moments where you go, okay, man, he is starting to figure it out. And then other moments, no. And I still wonder if he's just thinking too much out there as opposed to just reacting and playing basketball. Because there are some games where he just looks on fire and in the zone and focused. And maybe it's for a kid that is very mature, but the basketball IQ maturity part maybe just isn't always there.
It certainly appears to be that, but in the added pressure of more minutes and more leeway and more time to make more mistakes, and then you make so many that you finally get benched. The Spurs finally get a little bit of a break. They get today and tomorrow off. I expect the Spurs will get one of those rare opportunities in season to actually put on a full practice before they get the Houston Rockets. And then, the Golden State very quickly to follow. This 2 days ago, this looked like the opportunity to kind of turn things up, move on, even though we know LaMarcus is banged up. The surprise Rudy hip injury, I think, kind of slowed that as well, because Pop's trying to wrangle all these new bodies and new faces with Derek White now, and it has not looked good since he's come back. Something's going to have to work, and I think it's just going to be some more practice time, and it's just going to be more minutes on court with Derek and DeMar and DeJounte and Keldon just figuring out how to play together, because right now they, quite frankly, just don't.
They don't. And the other thing, the All-Star voting, the first fan returns, no Spur in the top 10 anywhere, and that includes DeMar DeRozan. Now, apparently you can retweet for double points today off of the Spurs tweet, but Klay Thompson, he comes in at number 10. He is having an all-star year in the broadcast booth there for the Golden State Warriors. That's embarrassing.
It's unfortunate. Yeah, it is embarrassing. And for DeMar, who wants to be an all-star, not to get the votes, that might play a role in whether he stays. We'll talk about it tomorrow. It's been the Blitz.
What are the thoughts on this Spurs team?
Well, a lot of focus has been on the young guys. It's the vets that have really been leading the way.
Absolutely. We will see the Spurs continue to go as DeMar plays. And every one of those 8 wins, DeMar or LaMarcus played a significant role. The absence of those two guys, then Patty Mills has to play a role. And if those three don't contribute, there's a reason for those losses. And I certainly think that will continue.
The Blitz, weekdays 4 to 7, 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
If your water tastes bad or has an odd smell, you need to call Alamo Water Softeners, because in San Antonio, we have some of the hardest water in the country. When you call Alamo Water Softeners, they'll come to your home, give you a free estimate, and test your water. Right now, save $300 on select water care water softeners from Alamo Water Softeners, the best value for the highest quality water treatment. Go to alamowatersofteners.com and discover the Alamo Water Softeners difference. That's alamowatersofteners.com.